Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's going to be a great day here on Kaplan and Crew. But before I get started, as I like to do, can I please send some love to my sponsors? And will you guys who watch every day and who listen every day, will you please support our sponsors? Let me start off by saying this. Alex and Browner both recently got a Ride One Up e-bike. If you are thinking about an e-bike this holiday season, please consider the brand Ride One Up. And here's why, because you're going to save a lot of money and you're going to get a tremendous product. Okay. I'm telling you right now, I've been riding e-bikes for 3 years. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. It can be for fun exercise. I happen to use my e-bike for transportation. But you don't have to park anywhere. It's just a pleasure. Like you put your bike on a rack, you lock it up. It's great. And they're fun and they're fast. Anyway, look, I could go on and on and on. Rideoneup.co/great friends. Rideoneup.co/great friends. Right now is their Black Friday sale. You're saving like almost $400 on these bikes. And if you use our code Great Friends, you get an additional $50 off. So if you're thinking e-bike this holiday season, please, Great Friends, these are the guys to go to. Ride One Up. All right, let me keep going. Carlsbad based company, but all over the world. These guys right here, Manscaped. Here's the thing about Manscaped. They like being on the show. They like being local, okay? And they want to support local. But the way this whole thing works is this. You go to their website, you buy all their products. Why? Because they're amazing products. All of the stuff that you need to do that you neglect, like shaving your pits, and I don't mean like pure shaving like you're a freaking Olympic swimmer. I'm just talking about like cleaning it up, dude. Your chest, your freaking balls. Hey, guys, we expect them to be clean. They expect us to be clean. Can you feel me? Manscaped has all these products specifically for that. I know we all like the ball deodorant, which is right over here, the ball reviver, which is great. But all the tools you need, and these are great gifts for guys at the holiday season. So go to their website, manscaped.com, use our promo code Great Friends. You're saving 20% and there's free shipping. But use our promo code Great Friends because they then credit us and they go, okay, these guys sell for us. These guys move for us. We want to keep, advertising with them. So help a brother out. You feel me? You're going to drink like a fish. Me too. Okay. It's December. This is what we do. So here's the thing. You're going to want to lose weight in January. And that means you're going to have to change your diet, means you're going to have to increase your exercise. And many of you, us, won't do that. Alex has found through our sponsor, iThrive, and their product, iThrive Lean, fully FDA approved and guaranteed to help you lose weight. If you go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com, you can click on the iThrive logo. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Or you can go to their website, ithrivemd.com. People who are listening to this show and watching this show are losing weight, like ridiculous weight. Alex has lost 20 pounds. My friend Larry's lost 20 pounds. His wife has lost like 15 pounds. And the list goes on of great friends who have taken advantage of this incredible deal of $299 for the first 2 months, because then it actually is like a $499 a month product. But if you're losing the weight and it's working for you, it's worth every penny. ithrivemd.com. And I also want to mention our friends at Torrey Holistics, because this is kind of one of the issues, right? Like Torrey Holistics is why I eat so much, which is why I got to go to iThrive. Hey, shout out to Torrey Holistics. So much love. This Got Your Back campaign has been out of this world. If you follow Torrey Holistics on social media, you've seen the amount of peanut butter jars that have been brought into Torrey Holistics for the Got Your Back Foundation. And use our promo code, which is Got Your Back, and you'll save 20% when you spend $75 or more. But you get a 1 penny pre-roll when you bring in a 16-ounce plastic jar of peanut butter. And the store is just, filled with peanut butter. It's ridiculous. But you guys have done a great job. And Torrey Holistics is putting this peanut butter into the hands of families during the holiday season that desperately need this food. So shout out to everybody who's helped along the way. All right, we'll talk more about our great sponsors way later in today's show. Let's get rolling. Friends, what's going on? It's Kaplan and Crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man, and we are coming to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Today is going to be a very interesting day on the show, and here's why. Because I feel like we've talked many times about watching games together and podcasting us watching the games. As a matter of fact, a couple years ago, trying to remember who was playing. It was a Charger game. I want to say it was a Monday Night Football game. It was me, Alex, Browner, Billy Ray, Linda, and Heath Bell all in my house watching a Charger game, and we broadcasted or streamed it. Oh, Bert Grossman was there too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn, I forgot about Bert. Oh, Bert's going to hear this on the radio today and be pissed. Oh, I'm going to be getting tweets about this.
What else is new?
I know. Well, anyway, we were all there in my house and we were all watching this game and we were broadcasting it, streaming it on YouTube. And as I recall, Alex, like that was a highly engaging YouTube video, right? Like people do watch other people watching games on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm. A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Crap.
I know. I'm trying not to talk. Just keep going.
So here's the thing.
Today,
blowing my nose over here.
Really? It's got worse?
I can barely talk.
Wait a second. Hold. Time out. Alex has boogers. We talked about this yesterday. His trip down to Texas. It was freezing rain, et cetera, et cetera. All these changes of temperatures. Oxnard dry and Santa Ana winds, blah, blah, blah. Yesterday, you told us all about your booger situation. You're not better today. You're actually worse.
I was doing really good this morning, and then like we hit record, and all of a sudden I could feel it from my nose to my throat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. But tough guy that you are, you don't miss work.
I mean, tomorrow we might be missing work.
Come on. You're going to get worse between today and tomorrow. You're not going to get better?
Not getting better, man. It's been a week.
Man. And over to Brown Man here. What you never get sick. What's your deal?
Bro, I don't know, man. I can barely talk. Like really poorly. It's not great. It's not great at all.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm not gonna have to listen to any of your crap today.
Yeah, you know hot takes today.
Yeah, I'm gonna ramble today.
Just as long as you don't talk about Justin Fields. I mean, I got one rant in me. You got one rant in me.
You got one good rant in you?
I got one enemy. One.
All right. Well, then everybody hang on for a second. Today's gonna be a great show and an interesting show in this way. So as most of you probably know who are listening on radio right now on 1090, we broadcast on 1090 the podcast. We take the podcast, which streams on YouTube, and I'm going to call a quick timeout here. Yes, our YouTube channel is suspended. We violated a rule that we didn't realize. They took us down for a week. We'll be back on our main YouTube channel later in the week. In the short term, we're using our clips page, which is like a secondary page, to actually stream the show on YouTube. Little workaround, if you will. Now, many of you, in fact, about half of you who watch daily on YouTube, you guys have figured this out. The other half of you are like me. You're like, I don't know how to do it. It's too much technology. I'm old. Yeah, it's not that hard. Even I could probably come up with it for reals. So today, while we're podcasting, the U.S. versus Iran soccer game, we'll catch at least the first half of the game while we're podcasting. So if you're driving around on radio right now and you're like, dude, that game happened earlier, but I didn't get to see any of it, we're all going to be essentially watching the first half together. Now,
we all? Or 2/3 of the show?
I'm very glad you asked that question, Alex. Browner, even though you don't feel so good today, even though yesterday you had an apple while on the air and an orange, which is very unusual for you to eat something that's not from Wendy's or Popeyes, McDonald's.
Right.
Will you watch the game? Do you have the energy today to watch U.S. versus Iran?
You know, that's the reason I won't watch. In low energy. Low energy. Energy got me. I don't have it in me to cheer for the U.S. soccer team today.
Oh, damn.
Then this game, though, really take on like a Rocky IV vibe for everybody. And this kind of like a Cold War kind of mood between two countries facing off in sport.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Browner, if you say no, let me tell you something.
So Iran is Ivan Drago.
Oh, I don't know if they're Drago. It's
Rocky
just more
IV is the best Rocky. So if we're going to do that.
Rocky. But the vibe around Rocky was way more political than I think anybody ever really talks about. Like the whole Russia, America, doping versus non-doping, even though Sylvester Stallone was doped out of his mind in that movie. Mm-hmm. But like this, I think even this one is not even as subtle as Rocky IV. This is straight up a political battle happening on the field in Qatar.
Hey, Browner, here's what I want to tell you something, dog.
Mhm.
I want you to today, if you can, even while we're on the air, go to the LA Times sports section today and read their cover story about Iran, the current regime, this soccer team, the pressure that these players are living in, the opposition protests that are going on inside of Iran, and by the way, how the Iranian journalists who are in Qatar to cover the World Cup, when they interview or during media sessions, when they talk to the U.S. players, they are pushing negativity from inside the United States. Like they'll make all these statements about race relations to the players, and the U.S. players are on the receiving end of these long, winded questions and harangues, essentially, that the Iranian journalists are putting on the U.S. players, because to them, to Iran, we've been the bad guys for all these years.
But
And
also,
from
go ahead. Sorry.
Well, and from our perspective, at least for those of us that remember, like when I was a kid, the Iranian hostage situation, we look at them practically my whole life as the bad guys in the Middle East, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan. And so what's happening inside their country right now, as it's being reported, and what this soccer team means to the country, and what this game against the U.S. means to them politically, and all the uprisings and things that are going on inside that country, it is a much bigger deal on both sides, in my opinion, than just some random soccer game. Read that article, dog.
I know more about the political side of this than you could even understand. So I get it, the political portion of it.
I couldn't get it. I couldn't understand it. Like there's nothing that you could do to explain it to me.
Because this is what I will share with you. I don't need the LA Times to tell me what's going on. Like they tried to tell.
No, I'm just telling you, it's a good article. That's all.
They also tried to tell the LA fans, this is how you can be upset with the Padres. How'd that work out? So I'm not getting involved with them in anything.
Come on. Really?
Yeah, I said it. Listen, we don't forget.
All right.
Well, it's the
Did you hear about the latest with the Iranian players supposedly were threatened by the country if they threatened their families that if they don't behave, their families could be tortured and imprisoned.
And by behave, what exactly did that mean? Because the Iranian players,
you know what that means.
Before the first two games, they had some form of like protest. Like one of the games, they all like put their hands on each other's shoulders, and that was supposed to mean right. Then the next game, they didn't sing the national anthem, or maybe they touched each other. Like that was supposed to be like, "Hey, we're with you, people that are out there protesting." And we're not singing the national anthem. And then the next game they did, but they did something.
If they do not sing the national anthem, or if they take part in any political protest against the Tehran regime, their families would face, quote, violence and torture.
Can you imagine that in our country?
It depends on which family member.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you right now.
Browner, you would sacrifice a few, wouldn't you?
I would not sing. If I could pick the family members, I wouldn't sing. I wouldn't sing. I wear a rainbow armband if I could pick the family member.
Hey, look, I got 10 people.
Right.
Okay.
Take them down.
How many do you take? We take 30%. All right.
So
when you decide which three go.
Right. Exactly.
So in that same breath that you're talking about the journalist asking the U.S. player, I think Adams specifically, about the Black Lives Matter movement and the racism in America. You don't think those journalists are also being threatened? Like, hey, you better go ask these questions.
Well, that's
and also it's kind of fair in a World Cup setting.
Is fair.
It's 100. It's so fair because American journalists are always asking other players from other countries about the atrocities happening in their countries.
Yep.
And
I'm with you.
And dude, and if other countries think our stuff is atrocious, then ask them.
Right. It's fine. But
he answered it beautifully.
What did he say?
He just said, dude, I'm a black guy that grew up in a white family. I've learned to deal with adversity and adjusting to cultures my entire life. I play in Europe. I don't play in America. Like, he answered it really well.
Nice. Good. Look, I have no problem with the Iranian press. We know what they're trying to do. hey, we're trying to make you, Mr. American guy, look like a jerk because your country sucks.
Also, you would be
okay?
corrected if you were in the press conference because you still call it Iran, even though the people have been telling you it's Iran forever.
I've been saying
And that
Iran.
journalist was just like, he was very snarky with Adams. He was like, first of all, it's Iran. Can we finally get that straight?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me, dog.
No, he told Adams that too.
You know, it's amazing though. I have a friend of mine, really good buddy of mine. I rode bikes with this guy for years, trained with him forever, and consider him a brother. And he's Iranian, and his whole family. His parents left in the revolution. I want to say in like the 70s sometime, and they were like educated and I guess I would call them rich at the time, and they got out of there because the revolution was happening. They know this whole story. I'm only kind of giving you what I know of it. They left the country. They came to America. They came to San Diego. I guess they had relatives here or something, and they started from ground zero. They had nothing because the money that they made there they couldn't take, and the education that they got there didn't translate over to here. So like they were doctors, let's say, in Iran, and they were like janitors over here in America. And so they started from nothing, and they made an amazing life and lived a long, healthy life. Thank goodness. Dad died a couple of years ago. He's in his 90s. And they've made a lot of money, and they're actually incredible business people. Whatever. They are Americans, Iranian Americans. And gosh, man, these people love their country and wish that the people who live there now got to live the way they live in America. And that's I don't really know a whole lot of what's going on. And Browner obviously knows everything, and I would never be able to understand it, even if he explained it.
Even if I tried, dog.
I know.
LA
dog.
Times, they got nothing on Browner.
Zero.
I know, dog.
Zero.
I know. Well, I mean, they came up with the how to build hatred for the Padres, column. So Browner
also wrote
respect.
They also wrote if there was ever a case to get rid of the playoffs, the Dodgers are the reason this year. So yeah, incredible journalism coming out of that building.
Top-notch journalism coming out of there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what is journalism today, right?
Great, even better question.
I mean, are newspapers still considered? Yeah, right. Are newspapers still considered journalism, or are newspapers just blogs
YouTube,
on paper?
TikTok, and
I knew journalism was changing when I went my junior college journalism. I was my major. They got rid of it after my first year. I got to San Diego. I got to San Diego State, and they're like, "Hey, we have it, but really it's more of like a communications, media studies kind of thing." And I was like, yeah, sweet. Cool.
All right. Right on.
Let me learn YouTube.
Here's what's going to be fun about today's show. We've always talked about watching games and being on YouTube. Today, we're going to have a chance to be on YouTube, be on audio podcast. For the first half, be on radio on 1090. And maybe we'll even put a little bit of this on TV. We'll have to see what happens.
How about, I have an idea.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're going to talk to Eric here next segment.
Right.
And then after that, we don't have any guests. And really, I don't think there's like a big pressing story that needs to be like dissected. Ooh, the Chargers aren't getting Sean Payton. Ooh, Jeff Saturday, timeouts, no timeouts. I don't really think there's like this like
LeBron James and the Lakers blow a 17-point lead.
Right. Aztecs versus Irvine. Aztecs dropped to number 24 in the poll. Whatever. There isn't really like this like massive major story.
Yeah.
Just throw the game on and talk about it. So we're done.
Browner, this is a YouTube experiment today.
Listen.
We got to build more subscribers on our clips page now that we're suspended, thanks to somebody. I don't want to say who.
Look, man, majority rules in around here, man. So how about y'all go ahead? I'll watch and I'll comment as we go along.
Yeah, dude, give us your soccer commentary. Yeah. Soccer commentary from a guy who's begrudgingly watching the game.
Right. Can I boo?
You can.
All right.
You can. You can do whatever you like.
What time does it start?
Yep.
All right.
All right. Hey, as we get started today, yes, Alex, excuse me.
No, keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Because I want to show you something today shortly.
Okay, great. Man, I want everybody to know that during this holiday season, everybody's trying to sell you something, including us. And by the way, no shame. I saw Stephen A. Smith on First Take about a week ago promoting his new book. Hey, y'all. This is my new book. All the stuff I want to talk about that I can't hear on ESPN on First Take, it's all in here. Buy my book. Great. Awesome. You'll notice today, for those of you watching, I'm wearing my Chargers Hater Club t-shirt. I love this shirt. Isn't it great to love a hater shirt? It's fun. And I know today what'll happen is this will make it out onto Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, and I'll just get banked around by like the 2 Charger trolls that there are out there. So, but guys, here, you know what you guys should do? You guys should buy one of these. And here's how you do it. You go to kaplanandcrew.com, you go to our merch shop, and we've got all the gear, the Hey King t-shirts, the Slay Queen t-shirts. I know I saw somebody the other day sent me the copy of the receipt that they bought the Great Friends bucket hat. Thank you for that. The Charger Hater Club gear, all the stuff that happened in this magical baseball season. Pay that man. The Musgrove stuff. We love Joe Musgrove around here. Shout out. So go to the merch shop. And right now, 15% you're saving. And free shipping. And this is all through a third party. Like, we have a deal, like, you guys order, they print, they ship, they give us like, I don't know, $3 to $5 per item. So we're not making a lot of money, but I'll tell you right now, it helps around Christmas bonus time. Tell you that right now. You two guys, of all people, should want to be pushing this stuff.
It's a charity for me, the John Browner Legal Defense Fund.
Yeah, I know.
I'm wearing a Great Friends shirt under this hoodie. It's just too cold to take this hoodie off. But
yeah, it's freezing. I know. And
I ordered some stuff for our boat party.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
The boat party with Next Level Sailing. Shout out to Captain Troy. Shout out to Captain Fathom. The boat party is December 17th. Me, Browner, and Grande are meeting mañana. Putting it all together.
Yeah, we got to do it quick because the 17th is 17 days away.
Yeah, we're going to do it. But I've already talked to Captain Fathom and Captain Troy, so the date is reserved. The time is reserved.
That'd be funny if it's just the 3 of us because we forgot to plan it. That'd be hilarious.
The good news for me is this. I was supposed to have another thing right after that, the 17th. I was going to go from 3:30 to 5:30, and then I was going to be someplace else by like 7 o'clock that night. That person canceled their party, so there could be an after party.
Oh.
There could be an after party.
At your house?
I was thinking more like volunteering Linda's house, but that's just me.
Yeah, good luck with that.
You know, I mean, it's kind of like, well, maybe we'll do another form of your wedding at Linda's house.
She'll say yes to that.
I know she will. She's already kind of put it out there.
Yeah.
All right,
look at this.
Yes. Let me hear. What do we got?
We could do this.
Oh, nice scoreboard. USA versus Iran. Yes.
We could do this, and then look, we can go all day, boys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully we get that score 4-0 USA. For those of you listening on radio, here's what we're trying to explain to you. We are podcasting, then we are broadcasting on radio. And even though today you may hear us talking about the first half of the US versus Iran soccer game, what are you doing today? Are you sitting around watching this thing? Are you going to a bar for lunch and watching all this? I mean, if you are, great. You'll relive it. If not, you'll be like, oh, this was exciting and fun. Right, Browner?
So jazzed.
Oh my God, you're such a hater.
So why did you add your phone here because it's still connected?
Oh, sorry. I planned on showing you guys some video. My dog, dude. I honestly, my dog and I, we have become such BFFs. Like, we were always tight, you know, but this past week when my kids were all away for Thanksgiving with their mom in Boston, me and the dog, we took our relationship to the next level, dude. And we hang out together, and he usually just lays right by my side the whole show. He happened to get up probably to go outside for a little bit and bark at something. But people yesterday were like hitting me up going, dude, I love to hear about you and your dog. I never really thought of it. Cause you know, like when Scott Van Pelt, did you guys ever see the story of ESPN, Scott Van Pelt?
You was beefing with him?
I wasn't beefing with Scott at this point. No, I was just following the story. His dog died. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
And he told this, like, he cried on SportsCenter about his dog. People, I mean, listen, I'm not suggesting to you that it's not emotional, but it was like a big part of his life. And like, he always had pictures of him. I never really thought of my dog and I as that close, but all of a sudden, dude, we have taken our relationship to the next level, bro. And we sleep together every night. We touch each other. Like, we're back to back. Last night, our butts were touching each other.
What's gross is that you admitted how you sleep at night. So
yeah, I sleep naked.
Yeah, weird.
Dog's naked. I'm naked.
And you say touch each other.
Yeah, like our butts were touching. We were sleeping butt to butt. Does that sound like, I don't know. Does that really sound weird to people? Or dog owners are like, I get it.
I'm a dog owner and I don't get it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But do you, boo?
Okay, thank you. All right, stick around. We're just getting started. Eric Williams from Fox Sports is going to be here to talk NFL, and we got a really great show. Along with Grande and the Brown Man, we're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. This is Kaplan and Crew. Let's do it. All right, great friends. It is a Tuesday afternoon. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man coming to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. As mentioned, Eric Williams from Fox Sports, who covers the NFL for Fox Sports, is with us here this afternoon. And Eric, it's good to have you back. How's it going?
What's up, fellas? I'm doing well. Looking forward to this week's games.
Yeah? How was your Thanksgiving?
Ate way too much, man.
I know. It
was a food coma.
I know, dude. I wore pants that had elastic waistband, like rather than a pair of jeans or something where I had to use a belt so that I didn't have to undo my belt and then unbutton my pants. Like I literally wore what were practically sweatpants just so I could feel myself expand like an animal.
I wore stretchy pants too, so we were on the same wavelength there, Scott.
What was the best thing you ate at Thanksgiving?
Turkey was really good this year. My daughter and I have a tradition. We usually bake a cake, and so we made a chocolate cake, and we made like this cinnamon swirl cake that was pretty good. Green beans were good this year. I mean, it was a good meal overall. Nothing. I didn't decline anything this year. Mashed potatoes, gravy.
Yeah. Alex, how about you? Best thing you ate over Thanksgiving? It's a standout plate for you.
Yeah, the best thing I ate on this year's Thanksgiving was the breakfast tacos I had at some taco spot in San Antonio. I had tacos that were I had like a chicharrón and salsa roja taco. I had a chorizo, beans and cheese taco. And then I had a barbacoa taco. And this place made like the dopest, freshest flour tortillas. And then I had to go eat turkey after, which is never a hit for me. Unless it's deep fried. I don't really like turkey. But sorry.
Wait.
Some dude that was a friend of the family came in and made the most fire green bean casserole I've ever had in my life. I forgot about that. I actually took a second scooping of green bean casserole. It was amazing. It was really good.
Brown Man, you got a contribution to this conversation?
Look, man, I already told y'all that Thanksgiving ain't my day. You already know about me.
Did you ever end up did you ever get crab legs? Like, because what's open to get crab legs on Thanksgiving?
Lobster tails. I ended up getting lobster tails from Costco.
You prepared them yourself?
And he calls us coastal elites. He's eating lobster
Well,
on
okay.
Thanksgiving.
First of all, slow down, buddy. Okay? First class. All you got to do is put the stuff in there, steam them, depending on how you get down, and then they're ready. They're not that hard to prepare, man.
But you did have a meal that you considered to be kind of a special occasion kind of a thing by going with lobster, correct?
I mean, I feel like I had to do something.
Right. So therefore you did participate in Thanksgiving. Maybe Thanksgiving is your day, fam.
I wasn't Thanksgiving for it. I was just eating.
It really was intended to be a simple question. The best thing I had, honestly, was this cornbread stuffing that my buddy David Mitchell made. Shout out to David. And don't get me wrong, there was great food everywhere, and the turkey was awesome. And my friend Suzanne did the Friendsgiving on Saturday, where she made this like mashed potato stuffing patty that she like flash fried on both sides, and then she put turkey and gravy and cranberry sauce. I mean, it was insane. But just the one standout dish for me was that cornbread stuffing.
That's too much.
You know where people need to stop messing around with is like Thanksgiving rolls. Just bust out the crescent rolls from Pillsbury, and everyone's going to be happy.
Right. Stop overdoing it.
I went Hawaiian sweet rolls.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
But you know, if like people go like a bakery and get like rolls and stuff, I'm like, that you just took too much effort, man. Crescent rolls, Pillsbury, out the tube.
Put some butter on them things. Everybody lives.
Keep it simple.
Yep.
Eric's like, yes, concur.
Yep.
Eric, what a weekend around the NFL. Yesterday, we had a conversation about the Chargers win. And I said, hey, I'll give it to Brandon Staley. You go for the 2 to win the game. That's kind of gutsy. Alex then said, no, it's not really gutsy. It's what you're supposed to do in the moment at the time. And you know what? I've decided I think it's both. What'd you think about the Brandon Staley move?
I think it's gutsy. I think the obviously the traditional move would have just been to kick the extra point, go to overtime, and hope that you have the better offense, better quarterback, and can figure out a way to win it in OT. If you don't make the 2-point conversion, I think you open yourself up for criticism. In my opinion, even though maybe analytics tells you that you should go for it in that situation, being on the road and maybe you have more injuries than the other team you're facing, so you're out there for a little bit longer. But I also felt like it was a game that they needed to win, and I think that maybe impacted his decision to go for 2 in that situation, just because they felt like they had to have that in order to have a chance to reach the postseason. So I give him credit for making that decision, which in my opinion was the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it took guts, because you're right. He opens himself up to criticism. But on the other hand, you got to win this game. You're on the road. They're not any good, Arizona. You're kind of middle of the pack right now, sitting at 500. You got to win this game. So gutsy, yes. Right thing to do, yes. Alex, it's both, I think.
Yeah, I guess. Listen, I'm not gonna tell you that I'm right and you guys are wrong. I just think that in modern day football, in that moment, I think that's the easiest call to make. You really, because especially if you watch the first 4 quarters, I mean, yeah, you got the 3 and out right before that final drive, but really, if Arizona was really moving the ball very well, at least especially on the ground, like James Conner ran for like 130 yards on him. So what you give yourself a tie, and with the Chargers kicker, that's never always a given, and then you go into overtime, and then you're relying on a coin flip and your defense to withstand a run from Kyler, which the Chargers defense has been completely untrustworthy. So when you put it all into that vacuum, I think it was one of the easiest calls Brandon Staley's ever made.
Or we sit here every week and we say, oh, they're going to charge it. They're going to charge it. Maybe they just got the job done, fellas. Maybe they just got the job.
I mean, no one's saying they didn't get the job done. They got the job done. They got the win. There was a much needed win. If they fall to 5-6, I mean, you can kiss the playoffs goodbye. Yeah. And I think this Raider game gets a little trickier now because they seem to be operating at a different level all of a sudden. So yeah, they got the job done, Browner. I don't think either of us ever said they didn't.
That's all. I just wanted to come out your mouth.
No, everybody's on me too. They're like, put some respect on their name. I'm like, why?
Thank you.
Why? They won a game they had to win.
Eric, I made the argument yesterday that at least 3 of their wins, it's because the other team chartered more than they did. The Browns, the Browns, the Broncos, and the Falcons, all 3 of them charged it up way more than they ever did, and that's responsible for 3 victories right there.
True. I kind of agree with you, Alex. I mean, they were very fortunate in those games to come out victorious, but good teams figure out a way to win, even though it's on maybe the other team sometimes that they get those victories. I agree with you. Going to Vegas to play the Raiders have won 2 in a row. Jacobs is rolling, looks like one of the best backs in the league. Derek Carr has been okay the last couple weeks. It seems like they're getting better on offense. It's gonna be a tough game for them on the road.
Yeah, and we're talking Eric Williams from Fox
Vegas?
Sports. The game is up there. It's this Sunday, Alex.
Maybe
Alex here. Listen to this, Eric. Alex has now decided he hasn't gone to a USC game this year, and he's a huge USC fan. And he's decided he's going to go to the Pac-12 championship game on Friday night. Now, and we had this whole discussion yesterday about now that he's married, he has to ask his wife if it's okay. And under normal circumstances, she'd be like, it's fine. But now that they're married, Vegas perks her up. Like, you're going to go bachelor partying. And he's going to go to the game Friday night, the Pac-12 championship game, to see USC take on Utah. Now he's going to think to himself, maybe I should stay for the Raiders-Chargers on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble, Alex, but you definitely should stay for Sunday. I mean, come on, man.
I know. How do I get it? Let me get a credential.
We got to check your man card.
Oh yeah. No, I got the green light. I got the green light. She was very supportive. She was very supportive. She said, yeah, you definitely should go. It'd be good for the show.
Eric, his cousin Nancy, she's just the coolest chick ever, and her husband, and he's also a really cool guy. These guys race cars in Vegas, so they bought a condo up there. So the kid's got a place to stay, got cheap flights. He's going to get tickets to both games, no problem. I mean, live the life, dog.
Yeah. I'm a little jelly, to be honest.
Where are you going this weekend?
I am going to watch the Seahawks take on the Rams, which may have the worst defending Super Bowl champion team in NFL history. We might be witnessing history this year.
We're talking to Eric Williams from FoxSports.com. He covers the NFL, and somebody gave him a real garbage assignment this weekend. It's Seattle and the Rams. But Eric, hey, listen, no disrespect, because last week you look at Fox, right? And they send their number one team to call the Chiefs and the Rams. Now, at the beginning of the season, you're like, hey, that's the Super Bowl champions against a team that's a contender. And this is a Super Bowl preview. And it turns out that the game's a dud because the Rams are in such, like, we think about the Chargers as being injured, but at least their quarterback is playing.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams, they're just limping to the finish line. I heard somebody tell me yesterday, no, they're evaluating talent. I'm like, no, they're just trying to get to the end of the season.
Yes, I think that's more accurate. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was scheduled to go to that game with the Rams and the Chiefs. And then obviously things changed, and I backed out of that one. You're right. I mean, the Rams are just kind of throwing bodies out there at this point and just trying to get to the end of the year. I don't know if I see another win on their schedule unless Stafford is able to get back out there, because the drop off from Stafford to Perkins is pretty significant. You don't have Cooper Kupp, who's essentially your offense, so you can't score. Defense is playing good. I mean,
but now Aaron Donald's hurt, which to me is like this, dude. We're not going anywhere. Why am I putting these miles on these tires? I'm out.
And in that, I was on that Zoom call with Mcvay, and he made sure to mention high ankle sprain. So it's not just a regular ankle sprain. So if you're going to sit him out, high ankle, 4 to 6 weeks, let's make sure he's good. These games don't mean anything. Yeah, I mean, Jalen Ramsey, maybe he has a knee injury crop up this week. I mean, you're right. Why put mileage on these guys if you believe that you can go and kind of reboot and get things going in the offseason? Make sure they're fully healthy for the offseason and not playing in meaningless games this year.
I think this is going to get louder in the offseason, and really not so much right now. But is it possible that we've maybe seen the last of Aaron Donald in a Rams uniform? Mm-hmm. And is it possible that TV money can be a little bit more appealing for Sean McVay than a rebuild in LA?
And is Matthew Stafford going to continue on with these, the concussions of this year and the buildup of injuries? And is Matthew Stafford in his mid-30s really the right quarterback for the future? Which, by the way, you've already tied yourself into a terrible contract given his age, his injuries, and the fact that they're going to need to rebuild.
Yeah, a lot of significant storylines for this franchise. And obviously they're going to be talking about these now before the season ends. And people are going to be watching kind of the moves they make over the next couple of weeks, because that's going to kind of predict what's going to happen in the offseason. I think the number one decision is McVay going to stay or not? And then all those other decisions, I think, will follow that. If McVay is going to stay, then if you're Aaron Donald, you're more inclined maybe to stick around. If you're Matthew Stafford, you're more inclined to maybe keep playing for a year or two. But if McVay is out, then yeah, it's essentially a total rebuild, and you're starting anew with a new head coach, and let that guy choose his quarterback, and maybe you trade Aaron Donald. I think that I think all decisions are going to hinge on what McVay is going to do.
Yeah,
that sounds like a cut and run from a team that won the Super Bowl last year. Wow.
Well, but I mean, listen, do you really want to do what you did when you first got there? Like when he got there, they were bad, and he helped build them along with Les Snead, obviously, and lots of roster moves, et cetera, et cetera. And they went to a Super Bowl and they lost, and then they went to a Super Bowl and they won. So they achieved the goal. Do you want to reboot? Do you want to start over? Or do you want to say, dude, I don't have the patience and I don't have the guts. I mean, meaning like I just don't have the insides right now to redo this whole thing and work like that over and over again. I thought, we won the Super Bowl. I thought we had a run in us here, maybe 2 or 3, at least opportunities like Kansas City. And Eric, it just all fell apart, the Rams this year.
And I think another thing is just because he's getting that money offered now doesn't mean that's always going to be there for
Correct.
him.
Right. He's the hot guy now.
He's ain't hot no more right now.
No, yeah, it's cooled off.
It's definitely cooled off from last year. I mean, last year after the Super Bowl would have been the highest in terms of his marketability. Now a little bit, less, but still pretty high. So, the opportunity to get that money is there, and it's not always going to be there. I think coaching will always be there. He'll always have an opportunity to get back into it at some point because of all the success he had during his time with the Rams now. So yeah, I mean, he just got married. If he wants to, start a family, obviously TV is better for that than coaching in the league.
Yep.
I got to tell Rams fans though, real quick, worth it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Trust me. Like, I know it's going to be rough, but worth it. 100% worth it. There's 12 teams that have never won one. It is worth it.
Yeah.
Very much
Super Bowl in your home stadium.
It just strikes me as somebody who is that like wired for football would let the life thing get in the way of football. To me, he's like a coach version of Tom Brady. Like, I'm going to keep coaching till I can't no more.
Yeah.
So I mean, the idea of him just not coaching because they are not winning. I mean, I don't necessarily see that as that's the right move.
Yeah.
I think you have to consider his family history, the fact that his grandfather was in the business, was the head scout, with the Niners, just passed away this year. I think he understands the toll that it takes on families.
Yeah. And it's been highly documented. I mean, his parents last year trying to get him to chill out, maybe him getting married is a small example of it. But the bottom line is, I mean, I just think that all these things we're talking about, his family pressure, his getting married, all the injuries and craziness that happened, I could see him saying, I'll still be in football and I may coach again later on. But for now, chill.
He probably got married so his parents would get off his back.
I know you guys don't buy this. I know you guys don't buy this as a reason. I'm not trying to lump him into every millennial Gen Zer, but this is a 36-year-old dude. This isn't a 50-year-old NFL lifer. You know what I mean? This is a guy that's 36, smoking hot wife, lives in LA. Like, you guys don't really buy into that, but I'm telling you, that is something that going forward, when you're getting 36-year-old coaches, and there's a lot of them now, that's something you really got to think about. That burnout is real. If you can go get paid more money to do less and still be in the sport,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good deal. And by the way, since Mcvay comes from the Gruden tree, I'll bet you he talks to Gruden, and Gruden's like, I tell you what, man, that TV was pretty good. None
of my emails got leaked when I was on Monday Night Football.
Eric, did you giggle because you actually thought that was like my Gruden impression?
I thought that was pretty good there, Scott.
Thanks.
You've been saving that?
Well, it's like a Frank Caliendo impression of John Gruden.
Oh, okay. An impression of an impression.
Correct. That's what most of my impressions
are. Now do your Mcvay.
Generation. I'll tell you what, man. TV is pretty good. Yeah, it's the same thing.
You're going to say same dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Eric Williams from FoxSports.com is here. Hey, Eric, in the last couple of seconds or minutes, really, I feel like one team right now in the AFC is a little sneaky. Maybe they're not. Maybe I'm the one who just thinks they're sneaky, but I feel like all of a sudden Cincinnati is kind of back. And as much as I think Kansas City is the clear favorite and Buffalo is probably right there, I don't know, something about Cincinnati that I'm not seeing them enough to know, but I can see the record. I can see the wins. Yep. What do you think about Cincinnati right now?
I agree. I mean, it's kind of the same path they took last year where they heated up late. Burrow started to play well. They started kind of to connect offensively. I think their offensive line play has improved over the year, and that's why they're maybe a little more efficient offensively. Running backs hurt, so that's a little concerning. See if he can get healthy. But I think anytime that you have one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, Burrow is certainly that. It gives you an opportunity to have success once you get in the postseason, and you could go on the road and beat teams like they did, at Tennessee and at Kansas City last year. You don't necessarily need to be at home in order to win those games. So, yeah, I definitely agree that the Bengals are a team to watch. In the AFC, I still feel like the top team is the Chiefs, and then everybody else kind of fits in after them.
I don't know, man. The Jets seem to be on the move, especially after
Mike White.
After the Bears. I mean, come on, the Bears are so awesome. The Jets could beat the Bears.
He's coaxing you out, Browner.
I told you I'm sick, man. Don't. I got one rant in me. I don't want to use it on that.
Who regrets their draft swap trades more, the Broncos or the Saints?
I have to go Broncos, man.
At least
the
Broncos
are a hot mess.
Yeah, they are, but so are the Saints. I mean,
yeah.
Dennis Allen,
like the Broncos,
what are you doing, man? Like, we know what Andy Dalton is. At least if you're going to be bad, at least if you're going to score 0 points, at least throw like Taysom and Jameson there. Have some fun. But now you got the Eagles who are like maybe the best team in football, and they have the 6th pick right now.
Yeah.
Got about a minute
Brutal.
here, Eric. Let's give us a final thought on that.
Well, I understand what Alex is saying. I guess for me, just because of the publicity of getting Russell Wilson and the expectations
Mhm.
going into it, we expected more from Denver than we expected from New Orleans, and then it's just been the worst. It couldn't have gone any worse. It looks like Russell Wilson should be playing in the CFL right now. I mean, that's how bad he's played, and it even shocks me that he's played that badly. I didn't think he was going to go in there and light it up, but I thought they would at least go 500. Looks like Hackett's probably going to get fired, I would think, because you can't move on for Russell because the money's too deep. So for me, it's definitely Denver.
Yeah, I know. And then to see a defensive lineman, I don't know. Nobody knows what was said exactly, but and maybe he's just trying to fire him up for all I know. I don't know. Maybe he's yelling at him like, get your ass out there and earn that money. But
I don't think he was asking for his address for Christmas cards.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't think they were talking about, hey, what are we doing for dinner after the game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I hang out with Ciara? So, Eric, it is great to be with you always. And we will talk to you next week, man. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate y'all. Have a good weekend.
All right.
Yes,
You
sir.
too. Eric Williams from foxsports.com stopping by. Stick around because the USA versus Iran, that's where our heads is at. Our heads are at. Stick around. This is Kaplan and Crew from the. All right, great friends. Hey, what's happening? It's Wednesday afternoon. This is Kaplan and Crew. We are in the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com. If you're just getting with us and you're a radio listener on 1090, let me tell you what's about to happen. Because for everybody that's watching on YouTube, and oh, by the way, even though our YouTube channel is currently in the penalty box, we got like a 5-minute major for fighting. And they literally suspended us on our YouTube channel for a week. Why? Because we showed a video, and I say we, I mean on our channel, we showed a video of a fight at a stadium, which I like to show those videos. People are idiots, honestly, and they should be exposed for being morons when they go to games and they fight people. Anyway, YouTube took us down. I can't even believe it. I mean, with all the stuff that's on YouTube, that's what they decide to take down. Really? Anyway, we have a secondary channel. It's our YouTube's Clips channel. I'm trying to turn a negative into a positive by saying this is our opportunity to build our subscriber base on our YouTube Clips channel. About half of you so far have found the YouTube Clips channel. The rest of you are like, oh my God, I'm scared. It's a secondary channel on YouTube. Even YouTube is too much for me. I have to download the app. Go to the website. If I can do it, you can do it. Alex, do you know that I can do it?
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy when you get the link sent to you directly to your phone.
You're saying me personally?
Yeah, you.
Well, I
Right?
mean, if you subscribe, then everybody gets the link sent to them. At least if you have the push notifications on. I know you guys are anti-notification.
I am.
Okay. I'm pro-notification.
Right.
So anyway, look, all I'm saying to you is this, is that today's show, if you're just getting with us from a radio perspective, things are going to be a little bit different here for the next period of time. We are podcasting and then taking the podcast and broadcasting it on 1090. We're podcasting on YouTube right now. Audio podcasts whenever you want them. And you'll see us on TV tonight on Cox's Your View. Channel 4 San Diego is our home base. But here's the thing. At the time of this podcast today, the USA versus Iran is about to start.
Yep.
So if you're listening on radio, I mean, this is after the fact. But I don't know, like what everybody's doing today. Like, did everybody decide, hey, I'm leaving work and I'm going to a bar and I'm going to watch the USA game on a Tuesday afternoon with, a bunch of raucous soccer fans? Sounds like fun. But I don't know. Most people have to work and stuff, don't they?
I'll say on Saturday when I went to a bar here locally in North Park for Mexico, Argentina, this bar that I went to for a Padres game, and Browner was with me for one of them, was, no joke, twice as packed for Mexico, Argentina.
I believe it.
It was like even standing room only, you were shoulder to shoulder. It was so I can imagine what places look like on Black Friday for US England and what places look like right now in a must-win situation for the US.
So, dude, on Saturday for the U.S. versus England, I think I may have mentioned this yesterday. I went to, I was on my e-bike and I went to a bar in Solana Beach called Pillbox. Dude, it was jam-packed, couldn't get in. And like a freaking moron over here, I take my bike, I put the kickstand down, and I'm standing there outside on the sidewalk looking in at the TVs, not realizing, and just not because I was intentionally being rude, just because I'm like in my own oblivious world. There are people sitting here in the restaurant outside on the deck, and I'm now in their way like a complete a-hole. I'm that guy who's just completely oblivious.
Do better, man.
Browner, I got to do better. And so this guy who's sitting at the table, who's watching the game, that's why he has that seat at that table to see that TV. He's like, "Hey, my man, could you kind of excuse?" I'm like,
Move.
"Oh, brother, dude, please accept my apology. What a moron I am. I'm standing here watching the game and you're sitting there because you were watching and now I just walked right into your field of view." So
that's pretty funny.
That was pretty bad. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, Alex now has a scoreboard: USA versus Iran, 0-0.
And Scott, you're on cable, so I'm assuming you are ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am at 18, 19, 20 seconds.
Okay.
I'm at 43, 44, 45.
All right. I'm at 49, 50, 51.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm ahead of everybody by about 2 to 5 seconds.
And me by 30. So you guys will react before I do, which is all good. Which is all good. Hopefully there's stuff to react to. Hopefully there isn't. I mean, the U.S., they can't afford a draw. They need to win. So
I wonder what it must be like for the U.S. players in a match like this, where from their perspective, all they want to do is, win the World Cup. That's what these guys want to do. They're soccer players. They've trained their whole lives. They're the absolute very best of the best. Browner, I saw that. The U.S. had a nice run, and they got it all the way down. And what's this kid's name, number 10? Pulisic? Is that his name?
Yeah,
I only know
Pulisic.
the U.S.
Hey, he's supposed to be the one.
Yeah, he's the guy, right?
How he lose the ball?
They didn't lose the ball. It was a great defensive play.
Oh,
you got to pass that. I just saw it.
Oh,
you got to pass that, Christian. Come on, man. This is going to be a 3
different
disaster.
times. So I wonder what it must be like to be on Team USA today, where you as a kid, you love soccer, and then you played club soccer, and maybe you even got the chance to play high school soccer, because a lot of these kids probably were in the developmental programs when they were in high school, and they probably weren't even allowed to play on their high school soccer teams. But these are the very best of the best. Think about San Diego. Your kid plays rec soccer. He or she is 10 years old. There are, 30,000 kids in San Diego that are playing rec soccer. And of those 30,000 kids, one of them might someday get to this level. Isn't there a guy from San Diego on the USA team, Alex? Do you know?
Paul Arriola did not make the club, which was a big surprise for a lot of people. He is a San Diego kid, played for the Cholos. Now he plays, I think, at DC and MLS, and he was not chosen. I don't know if there is another San Diego kid. I don't think so.
I feel like I was reading up on all the guys on the team, and I was trying to find out if there were any guys that were local. I know that there's one. Oh, here's the guy. What did you say the player's name was that you mentioned?
Paul Arriola.
No, this is a guy named Luca De La Torre.
Okay.
24-year-old guy. He is he does play in La Liga. He's from San Diego. And here's the bio, at least, the article I was reading. The playmaking midfielder from San Diego is expected to come off the bench. De La Torre won the CONCACAF Under-20 championship with the U.S. in 2017. He signed a 4-year contract with Celta de Vigo this year and made his debut in the top Spanish division against Real Madrid on August 20th. So there's a kid from San Diego, at least the way it's listed here, Luca De La Torre. You ever hear of this young man?
No, I have not.
Well, back to your original point. One of the things that as a athlete playing for your country, like it's a different level of pride. It's a different level of energy. It's a different level of respect that you get and have because you are representing your country. So the good and the bad of it, you're on the world stage doing that. And sometimes you just get caught up in things that have nothing to do with you or the sport. It's just your country.
Right, but that's what I'm getting at is like if you're a kid who grew up your whole life and your progression was played soccer as a little kid, they found out I was pretty good. I played club soccer, I played at the highest level, and by the time I was 17, 18 years old, I was destined to be a pro. And now you're at the level here of the World Cup and you find yourself caught in the middle of like political stuff.
Right.
And so you have to know as a player that even though it's a soccer game and it's what you've been doing your whole life, don't you think these guys probably feel that they understand it's bigger because of all the political stuff that's been going around on both sides? Don't you
Mhm.
think? And don't you think that the US
Man.
team, the pressure that these guys must feel, whereas on the other side, the Iranian guys, the fear they must have.
But pressure comes with the territory of playing for your country. Like that, whether it be track and field, soccer, bat, whatever it is, the pressure of your country's relying on you, so to speak, like that pressure's always there. What the Iranian people are going through, like I think that's a little harder. Like if the U.S. players lose or they don't, sing the national anthem or whatever, and that's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
Like one of these guys outstepped the line, and they might not, they might not have a home to go back.
And I think it's a lot different for every country. And I know we're talking specifically about Iran and US, but it's different everywhere, man. Like what soccer means to certain countries is a lot more than what it means to the US. I know there's a passionate fan base in the United States, but in some countries, this is it. Like this is what you're waiting every 4 years for. And that pressure is probably significantly higher. Like in England, dude, if they didn't advance, they'd get have to, dude. Okay. Example. Euros 2 years ago. England makes it to the final. They go to penalty kicks. 3 black kids missed penalties. All 3 faced in crazy amounts of racism for the just missing a penalty kick. And they're all kids. Like the oldest one was like 22. One was like 18. And because in England, soccer is, that'll happen in any country. But like the Queen had to come out and do like a statement in regards to these kids. The Prime Minister, every club team. I think as big as soccer has gotten in America, it's nowhere near what it is in other countries. And I would say England just because it popped in my head, but Portugal, Brazil right now. If they don't win the World Cup, they'd be disappointments in Brazil because that's the expectations they have. So when you talk about a team like Iran and you bring up real life, I don't think anybody can compare. Like imagine if Ukraine was playing in this thing.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like and Ukraine, they just didn't qualify. They're not there because of the war. They just didn't qualify.
Right.
So
I guess
Ukraine could be there, and I understand what you're saying, Scott.
No, I hear what you're saying too. I do. But what I'm trying to say is like both teams on the Iranian side, it's like, dude, if we lose, like they may torture our family. Like that's like a real threat, because even though the Iranian journalists are saying to the U.S. soccer players, hey, you think America's so great. You think America's so perfect. And in the meantime, you got a whole bunch of racial problems in America. And so don't just tell us how we should be living because you guys aren't perfect like you think you are. So like they're kind of pushing that on us. And on our side, we're like, look how these people are living. Like there is still this controlling religious sect that is trying to fight off the people on the streets who are like, we want to live like America. We want to live the way the Americans live because that looks like a better way of life. And I don't want to be so restricted by you, Mr. Religious Government guy.
Right.
And so the pressure of the players, I believe, on both sides for different reasons, it really
just shows the American arrogance too. When we're talking about Elon Musk bitching and moaning that Apple is not advertising on Twitter anymore and that Apple is restricting free speech and they're against free speech. No, listen, just because I can't use a stupid app and tweet some racist stuff doesn't mean freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is a dude in an American jersey wearing a rainbow armband as the spectator in this World Cup getting removed forcefully. That's freedom of speech. You can wear whatever the hell you want. You can say whatever you want. There just happens to be consequences to those things. So it's like, it's such a silly thing that people argue about freedom of speech, cancel culture. No, go to real countries with real problems. Like this is that to me is just a perfect like encapsulation of American free speech versus actual free speech. So when you
wanna
say
hear- yeah, I'm gonna tell you a brief story about that exact issue in just one quick second here. Before I do, I just want to say it's 0-0, 9:24 to go, or at least has already been played. 9 minutes and 30 seconds has already been played in the first half. Again, radio listeners, you're like, what's going on here, guys? What's going on is we're broadcasting on 1090, the podcast from earlier today. And while the game is on, the three of us are all watching it together. So that's what's going on. But before I continue on, hey, Alex, you got to tell everybody how's things going now, because today is Tuesday, and I know you took your injection from iThrive just the other day. How's it going with the iThrive Lean program? Because you said you ate a ton when you were down in Texas.
actually didn't eat a ton because that's
Dude, I heard
my
you
habits
talking about these tacos to Eric Williams earlier today. I mean, you had like these 3 tacos. I was like, I thought you could only eat like 1 taco.
What I didn't say is that I didn't finish all 3 tacos. I had 3 tacos. I didn't
Oh.
finish, and I'm not lying. I swear to God, I really didn't finish all 3 tacos. It actually,
Dude, I don't know that I can be done until a taco is gone.
It went really well, Scott. I was concerned because I forgot to take my injection before we traveled on Tuesday. And
You're going to find out what I'm oohing about in just a
ooh.
couple of seconds.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And it went well, dude. I thought I gained a pound when I was gone to Texas. I actually lost a pound somehow. So I reweighed today. I'm officially down 20 pounds officially.
20 pounds, dude.
Yeah. And with a week off during holidays, I'm losing weight.
iThrive Lean. All you have to do is go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com, click on the iThrive logo. It'll take you there. Guaranteed weight loss, FDA approved, and you're saving $200 in your first 2 months. So $200 per month. So get on this right now, especially here it is December. Look, everybody's going to eat and drink like animals during the holiday season. This should be part of your New
Year's resolution. It'll help you.
Right. If your New Year's resolution is to lose weight, you have to decide, am I completely changing my diet? And am I going to completely increase my exercise or start exercising? If you're like, no, this is the program for you. And I cannot even believe how many people I know that are on this product now. Everybody's heard about it. Everybody's found out about it. And it's become all of a sudden the most effective and easy and fast way to lose weight. So yeah. iThriveMD.com, or go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com, or call for an appointment, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497.
I got to tell the U.S. something. I know they can't hear me right now, but you got to stop crossing the ball to your short guys. That ain't going to be it. Christian Pulisic ain't going to score a header over these dudes. Yeah. He's like 5'7".
I know, but
they did it all game against England. They did it all game against England. And it's like, why are you crossing it to these guys? You don't have a single tall guy up front.
Yeah. And he did get ahead on the ball.
Pulisic is listed as 5'10". There's zero chance that guy's 5'10".
Really?
Look at him.
Dude, I understand. I mean, Landon, you look at Landon.
Yeah, he's Landon's height.
Dude, Landon is really as fast as he was, as smart as he was. And all the instincts that Landon had. The fact is, I mean, Landon is really, in real life, he's just a small dude.
Yeah.
You know, amazing athlete. I mean, freaking world class.
Didn't he just get inducted to the Soccer Hall of Fame?
Is that right?
I think he did.
Wow. That's unfortunate that I don't know that. He says he's available to us, by the way, over in Qatar. So I guess I should text him. We should text him today for tomorrow.
100%, because, well, you're off tomorrow. But
yeah. Baby Mama Drama Browner.
Legal Defense Fund.
Yep, that's right. Buy our t-shirts. Legal Defense Fund is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, so
Landon Donovan elected into the National Soccer Hall of Fame.
When was this?
2 days ago.
Get out of here! I can't believe I missed it, man. That's awesome. God, Landon is such an amazing guy.
Wait, if it was 2 days ago, was he there?
He's probably over
he was honored in Qatar.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where he's calling all world is focused.
I think, is he calling this game? I have it on mute.
Is he on the call, or is he just doing like studio shows? I didn't know that he was doing the call.
Games.
Boy, this would be cool if Landon were calling this game. I'll turn up the volume here at the commercial break.
Too Holden.
Yeah. All right, listen. So you know, it's funny you were talking about this whole story about American issues, and our problems aren't as real as these soccer players from Iran who've been threatened by their government. If you misbehave, we'll torture your families.
Yeah.
I mean, in 2022, almost 2023, there is a government in the world that is threatening this, and they mean it.
No games played.
And it's allowed.
Right.
yeah.
And nobody can do anything about it.
No. Well, that's what these uprisings in Iran are all about right now. They're like, we don't want to live like that. We want freedom. There's no reason for an Iranian girl to be killed because she's wearing her headdress on all wrong.
Or not wearing one.
Right. But the issue is that we as Americans, you talk about like arrogance, like the way we live is the way you guys deserve to live. But you see, they think of that as being arrogance because they're like, well, who the hell are you to tell us how to live? This is the way we do things. This is our culture. We're like, yeah, but people are people and they all deserve the same sort of freedoms that we get to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so let me tell you guys a quick story about, you talk about like American problems. Yesterday, I had American white guy problems. Browner, you're going to freaking love this, man.
Give it to me.
So not only do I have American white guy problems, but I had to go to the DMV yesterday, and my DMV person, like when they finally called my number and I show up to go up to the counter, is this just happy, smiley, friendly, accommodating African-American woman. And Browner, when I tell you that she was laughing at me in my face, telling me that my problems were making her day, it really did occur to me. This lady,
put your life into perspective for a second.
Right. Like this lady's not like compassionate, like, hey man, I feel you, man. Like I know how hard it must be, you know? She was just like, oh my God, this middle-aged white guy is standing in front of me. He's desperate for my help. What a moron this guy is. And only this kind of guy could have this kind of problem.
Uh-huh. I can't wait to hear this problem next segment.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you the story. Hey, we're watching the
I wonder how ridiculous it is. I want to laugh in your face now too.
Oh yeah, dude, you're gonna.
Yeah.
The USA and Iran at the 16:30 mark of the first half are tied at 0. The US, I will say it like this, in my opinion, in total control early on here with a lot of opportunities thus far. So we're watching the game together. Stick around. We're in the 7 Mile Casino studio, 7milecasino.com. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. Hey guys, breaking in for 1 second here. For those of you that are watching on YouTube and listening on audio podcasts, just to mention our sponsors like 7 Mile Casino, 7milecasino.com. If you're planning on playing cards and you really want to have a great place to do it, smoke free, great restaurant, you know the deal. Visit 7 Mile Casino and their website, 7milecasino.com. Hey, I also want to remind you guys about Penske San Diego, because if you're thinking about a new car this holiday season, the reason I mention it is because this is the time to get great deals. At least the way I've always been told, by the car dealers, this is the best time of the year for deals, because these guys at the end of the year, they're looking to sell what they've got left over. So if you're going into 23, but you walk in and you go home with a brand new car that's a 2022, good for you. You saved a bunch of money. Penske's got Acura, Audi, BMW, Honda, Lexus, Mini, Mazda, Mercedes, and Toyota. They got 12 dealerships with 9 brands and a website that could have you on it all day long. So check them out and shop, PenskeSanDiego.com. Quick shout out for my man, Gary Cooper, Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty Services. But let's just focus in on the realty side. If you're thinking about buying right now or selling right now, at least just talk to Gary and let him have a chance to earn your business. He could represent you. He could help you buy, like take you around to different places. He can show you listings that he has, which again, if you're going to sell, maybe you want Gary to list for you. Been with us for 20 years. We love the guy. Alex bought his home through Gary. I bought my first home through Gary, refinanced through Gary, sold through Gary, the whole deal. MountainTrustRealty.com. And oh, by the way, last thing, just a quick mention for our friends over at DraftKings, because there's all kinds of deals that you can get right now when you go to DraftKings. And look, I get it. So many people who are watching are in California, but there are people that are watching and listening all over the world. I had a guy who contacted me the other day and said, hey, will DraftKings work south of the border? I said, dude, I don't know. He went from San Diego over the holidays and he was in Tijuana and he was trying to use DraftKings. Didn't work. My point is this: wherever you are around the country or around the world, download the DraftKings app, use our promo code GreatFriends. And if you're in states that allow legalized wagering, good for you, man. You're going to make a lot of money, hopefully. And at least at the very beginning, you're using small amounts of money and they're just crediting your account if you win. So DraftKings, use our promo code Great Friends. And if you're in California and it's not legal yet, you'll be doing us a big favor by at least downloading the app and using our promo code, because they get to see how many people actually do it. DraftKings. All right, let's get back to today's show. Hey, great friends, what's happening? Today is Tuesday. It is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man from the 7 Mile Casino Studios. For those of you watching on YouTube, and yes, I know our YouTube page has been suspended, but we do broadcast or stream on our YouTube Clips channel. Half of you were able to figure that out yesterday. We tweeted it. We Instagrammed it. We emailed you guys yesterday. You know, we have about 15,000 emails in our database. If you want to get on, all you have to do is go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, put in your email, and you're on our list. But Alex, I think we should send out another email today, you know, just kind of telling people and sending people the link like we did yesterday. I mean, everybody put it out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, email, you name it. We're trying to let everybody know, yes, our YouTube page is suspended, but we're using our Clips page, and maybe we'll get our subscription base on our Clips page up. That would be great. So nice work yesterday, Alex. That was great.
I was planning on it. We'll do it again.
You're planning on sending out another email today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Email's good, because when you get the email, you can just click on the link and you can go right there.
I think we're back to normal Thursday.
Say that one more time.
We're back to normal on Thursday.
We are back. Okay, good. We're back to our normal YouTube page on Thursday. Yeah, and I got to take the day off tomorrow because I got, Browner, you'll appreciate this. Got more baby mama drama, dude. Not going to talk about it. Don't want to get the show taken down.
Yeah.
Don't want to deal with problems. But I got them. You feel me?
Respect that, dog.
Respect.
I respect that.
Respect. So we're watching the USA versus Iran game. And for those of you listening on the radio, there's a delay here, obviously. We're podcasting, and now we're broadcasting on 1090. Yeah, tell me.
So I'm watching the game, and all the words keep coming up in Spanish. And I'm like, man, what kind of... I'm watching Telemundo. I was like, I'm tweaking. Why is everything in Spanish?
Well,
so I watch every World Cup in Spanish. I watch every game in Spanish, except when the U.S. plays, and I put it on English.
During the commercial break, did you find out, is Landon doing the game?
He's not. It's too Holden.
Can you just take me off camera for 1 second? Because I swear to you, like, I have something that's like annoying in my nose, and it's not a booger. And I would be happy to tell you if it was a booger. It's more like a piece of something. So I asked to be taken off camera, and what do? You put me off camera, you mother effer. It's so uncomfortable, and I got to get it.
You get it?
Yeah, thanks. All right, so we're 23 minutes into the first half of this match, and we're all watching it together, and this will be fun. This reminds me, guys, of the time. What year was it, Alex? Was it 2010 or 2012, where Landon scored the big goal against, who was it?
I think that was 10. Algeria.
Right. And Landon scores that goal. And Billy Ray and I were sitting at a bar right outside Petco Park. And Nick Hundley was on the show at the time. And Landon scores that dramatic goal. And Billy Ray goes, "Way to go, Nick." The whole bar is exploding. You could hear it all happen on radio live. And Billy Ray goes, "Way to go, Nick."
Yeah, because the World Cup should be happening during the summer, during baseball season, not in November. So yeah, that I was there at that bar. I forget what it was called, like Proper or something like that.
It was like right outside Petco Park. It was right in the park at the park. Now it's called, what's the name of that place now? It had like 5 different names.
It was Stone after that. And now I don't even know what it is now. I've been there though.
Yeah.
Ironside, Burnside, something like that.
No, we were literally sitting at the bar eating like, I don't know, what is that British breakfast that they serve that, gosh, if you told me the name of it, I'd
sausage.
Go, yes. But there was like a name, Bangers, something.
Bangers and mash.
Yeah, Bangers and Mash. So we were sitting at the bar doing the radio show, watching Landon Donovan's USA team play, eating Bangers and Mash with people like right around us, like people at the next bar seat over, because that's how tight it was. And we're interviewing Nick Hundley, and Landon Donovan scores, and Billy Ray yells, "Way to go, Nick!" as the bar explodes.
So, oh man. Do you oh man is like, because if I wasn't working with you guys yet, I think I was still working with Hacksaw at that time. But I was like, it was a life experience. Who books an interview during the U.S. game? Who
Whoever
books a
was producing.
baseball interview? That's what I'm saying. Was that a Los?
It's called counter programming, baby.
I don't know. Was it Carlos and Pratty? 2010? Nah, I don't. Was it?
I think so.
Carlos and Pratty still? I don't know, man. Hey, shout out to Carlos. He lives up in Carlsbad now. And shout out to Pratty, who's in Puerto Riqueño right now.
Yeah, he's living the Logan Paul life, right?
What is Logan Paul's deal?
Living in Puerto Rico.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, there's all these tax benefits to living in Puerto Rico. And Pratty's just so practical. You know?
I saw what's his name? Portnoy from Barstool.
Yeah.
Has to live in Florida now because the government didn't believe that he was a Florida resident for his tax breaks.
Yeah.
So now they're like tracking, make sure he's in Florida for X amount of days.
Although I saw him the other day, there was a Boston Celtics game on TV and he was sitting there at courtside.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but
which is kind of funny. No, you have to be in Florida like 6 days in a month, or six months in a day to qualify as an in-state resident.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's what the deal is. Anyway, we're watching USA versus Iran, 26th minute in the first half. But I want to tell you guys a story because we were talking earlier about like if you're an Iranian soccer player, if you misbehave, if you protest by putting your hand on your buddy's shoulder, if you don't sing the national anthem, if you misbehave in any way on the big national stage against big bad USA, if you misbehave, we'll torture your family. You know, like that is the reported threat, right? Was there more to it, Alex?
No, that's kind of what I got. Got the gist of it. If you didn't sing the national anthem, if you participated in any sort of protest against the Iranian government, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll torture your family.
Can I get some clarification between the two of y'all?
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be a good first 26 minutes?
I think the USA has played well. Yeah, and they've had a lot of opportunities.
This is considered a lot of action?
I think so.
Okay.
Don't you, Alex?
A lot of action around the net, yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of crosses. There's been a lot of, shots and headers and opportunities. And and there was another one. There's another opportunity. You see this yet? You see the header that they saved?
Why don't they just kick the ball with their foot? Isn't that the whole point?
Well, it's just like playing wide receiver in the NFL. You got to go to the highest point and get the ball,
Do people score on headers a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This one, that was close to offsides, too. All right, right to him.
Oh,
what's the name of that kid, number 21 for the U.S.?
Wea.
Yeah.
He's not from here. He's an import. He got to be.
Oh, so I was going to tell you guys before Scott gets to his story. This is the first ever U.S. starting 11 at a World Cup that doesn't feature an MLS player. All 11 of these guys play in Europe.
Interesting.
Yep. And what I mean by ever, since the introduction of MLS, this is the first non-starting 11 that has no MLS players.
If you're MLS, do you look at that and go, yo, what y'all doing, bro?
No.
No, you're saying
because the U.S.
American players are becoming, they're playing at the top level.
The U.S. Soccer Federation has purposely gone out and got European players that have American ties. A lot, I think 4 of these guys were, or maybe more, weren't even born in the U.S. Yep. I think it's more than 4.
Yeah, I've been reading that.
Yeah. So
this guy right here, Tim Weah, if that's how you pronounce his name, Weah. He's 22 years old. He is from Rosedale, New York. Let's see. His father. Oh, I've heard about this guy. His father was a Liberian soccer star, and anyway, he chose to play for the U.S. men's national team. He had a chance to play for either France, Jamaica, or Liberia. Anyway, he plays in League One and plays in France for PSG.
That is a huge club. That's where Messi plays.
Okay, now listen to this. His father is now the president of Liberia. Right. So this kid's 22 years old, Tim Weah. He was born in New York. His father is the president of a country, Liberia, where he was once a big soccer star back in the mid-90s.
That's the thing about soccer, man. And I don't want to get all romantic about it, but when you watch when you watch club soccer or even watching countries, because a lot of times, specifically in Spain, a lot of their guys play for Real Madrid and Barcelona, and they hate each other. And then every so often, they all got to be teammates. and they're all rooting for the same team. But that's what's so cool about soccer is that you watch a club game at Man U, you got Brazilian, you got Dutch, you got English, you got Portuguese, you got French, you got so many different types of cultures all meshed on one field.
Yeah,
because American football is just so American.
Well,
Which
listen,
is nothing
let
wrong
me,
with it. I'm just saying, like, that's what's so cool about soccer to me.
Well, let me tell you guys this story about what happened to me yesterday. Let me tell everybody where this story emanates from. We're talking about USA versus Iran. We're talking about the threats that the Iranian players received from their government if they don't, quote unquote, behave, right? And Alex was saying that the problems that we have in America are such American issues, that these guys have like life and death related issues, okay? And so I was telling this story, or I was about to begin telling this story about Browner. I had the whitest guy problems yesterday. And I had this very lovely African-American lady working at the DMV laughing in my face.
Give it to me.
So when my kids all got cars, okay? And again, just the beginning of this story sounds very privileged. When my kids all got cars, which I needed I had 3 kids driving at the time. And everybody was going to different places, jobs, school, whatever. So everybody got cars. And I went to a Penske dealership, Mazda of Escondido. I've talked a lot about these guys. So the same night, we got 3 cars. 1 bought, 2 leased. 2 are the same, 1's a different model. But they're all Mazdas. They're all 2021s. And they all have a license plate that starts with like the first 3 numbers, like 8VE. I don't know what it is. But the license plates are all essentially the same. 1 is 17, 1 is 20, 1 is 23. So as my daughter, who is turning 16, was getting a driver's license, somehow we were trying to figure out, like, where's the registration for the car, which should normally be in the glove compartment. And when we couldn't find the registration.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the DMV website to try and figure out how to get a new registration for the car. And this turned into now a full internal investigation. And here's what I think happened. So Browner, here's me at the DMV. I show up yesterday with an appointment. They say, okay, take a seat. I have a card that says A019. A stands for appointment. They finally call me up. There's this lovely African-American lady. Her name was Ray. And she and I I was explaining to her my story. And you can only imagine me. Hi, how are you? Hi, Ray. Nice to meet you. I'm Scott. I have a problem here and I'm hoping you could kind of help me out with it. And she says, okay, what's the issue? And I said, well, I have 3 cars. I paid for all 3 registrations. I can't find one of them. Guys, the part of the story I'm not telling you is that my daughter in Boise, her car had the registration for the car that my 16-year-old is driving. She had the registration in her glove compartment. So the wrong car had the wrong registration. But furthermore, the car in Boise had the license plates that belonged on the car here. So now I've got the wrong plate. Yeah. I've got the wrong plates on the car here, and I have no registration for the car here. And I've got a 16-year-old driving around in a car that has the wrong plates and no registration. And I have a kid in Boise that has the wrong plates on her car, but has the registration for the car that's here. And I'm trying to explain
So it was a swap
to this lady. Well, so what happened is when the girls went for Thanksgiving, they did a license plate swap.
Right.
So now I put the right license plates on the car here, and my daughter Jillian's putting the right license plates on the car there. But she still has the registration there that belongs here, and the registration for this car we can't find. But we think that the registrations that is lost is now the one that's in Boise, dude. Does this all
I need
sound?
one of those like murder boards.
You need a diagram. You need a flow
red
chart for this.
string to tell me what you just said.
Okay, so imagine this woman Ray at the DMV, and there I am standing in front of her. And I'm this middle-aged white guy talking about middle-aged white guy problems. Here are my 3 kids. Here are the 3 Mazdas. They're all 2021s. Their VIN numbers are all very close. Their license plate numbers are all very close. And I can't figure out which registration I've lost. So I'd like to replace all 3 registrations. And oh, by the way, I just finally got the right license plates on the right car. I mean, Browner, she is looking at me like, you middle-aged white moron.
Your privilege is hanging all out.
Dude, it didn't even occur to me until there I was face to face with this lovely woman, Ray. Shout out to you, girl. And I'm trying to explain this to her, and she's laughing at me. She's like, you are making my day right now. I'm laughing at you and your 3 Mazdas and your kids who have the cars with the wrong license plates, and you can't find the registrations, and you make an appointment to come in, and here you are. And I'm going to help you, Scott. I'm going to help straighten this whole problem out for you. And then you know what happened?
She did.
Straightened it out.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Didn't straighten it out.
Oh.
You know what happened?
It got worse?
The entire computer system at the DMV in Claremont Mesa goes down. The entire computer system goes down. So now here's a gentleman who's working at the DMV, and he's like, excuse me, everybody. No PA, no megaphone. Hey, excuse me, everybody. Listen, just letting you know that our entire computer system crashed. What does that mean to you? It means that you can either wait because it could be fixed in 10 minutes, or you could wait and it could be the next 3 to 4 hours. Cannot tell you, don't know. So I walk up to my girl, Ray, and I'm like, Ray, what up, girl? What do I do? She said to me, if I were you, I'd get out of here. Because the likelihood that this thing gets fixed in the next 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half hour, however much time you got, ain't good. I get out of here. So now here I am. I filled out all the paperwork. I've matched each piece of paperwork to the registration. I had photocopies that it was paid. And I'm ready to do this. I'm like this close. I'm a step away from getting this all done at the DMV. I made an appointment. I showed up. The DMV is crazy, like an airport, right? I've done all the paperwork. I've made a relationship with the person I'm working with, and the whole computer system crashes. She told me to get out of there.
And
I said, what do I do? I said, do I have to call and make another appointment? What do I do? She gave me the skip the line pass.
Hey-o.
that exists?
There's a skip the line pass at the DMV, people. I didn't know about it. I said, but come on, Ray, I can't come back here and wait in line like this. I need to call and make an appointment. It's a whole pain in the ass. She said, oh no, I'm giving you the pass. I got the pass. I got the 3 pieces of paper I filled out. I got the registrations proving that I paid. She gave me a paper clip. And now all I got to do now is find the time to go back to the DMV. But when I get there, I go right past the line. I'm first in line, baby.
That's got to be nice.
That exists. Can you?
I didn't know that was a thing.
So what does it look like?
Looks like a little business card. I should photocopy it, and then we should make copies of it.
Yes. So it's exactly where I was going with this.
Oh, yes. USA. Yes. Are we going to call that a goal? 37 minutes, almost 38 minutes in. The fans are going crazy. Is it onside?
Oh,
Alex, you're about to see this.
I know I am. And I'll tell you if it was offside. Because I get that rule. I know some people don't. Look who scored, Browner.
Yeah, Pulisic.
Now he's laying in the net holding his testicles.
Oh,
I don't know if Dest was onside. I couldn't tell on that first angle. Great run by Dest, though. Amazing run by Dest.
What a header
to
cross the ball.
Great pass. I don't know who
Incredible.
passed Dest.
Oh, what a pass. What a header. And then
collision.
The finish. Oh, and then Pulisic took the knee from the goalkeeper right in the midsection.
Mm.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, my God.
Oh, he's clearly onside. Dest was that's a goal, baby. That's 1-0.
Oh, see, I didn't think it was Pulisic that was the question mark. I thought it was the pass. That was
no, Dest was onside. And what a pass from McKennie to Dest. That's your European connection right there. Juventus to Barcelona to Chelsea.
Yeah, we know soccer on this show. Well, one of us does.
I didn't see the nut. Oh, okay. Just saw it.
Yeah.
Nut shot, huh?
Nut shot.
Got him good.
Ooh! Directly in the huevos. Ouch. I don't know if you can continue.
Good,
and if you can,
good time to tell
kids anymore.
Good time to tell everybody about Manscaped. I'll tell you that right now because I'm holding on to the ball deodorant. I'm holding on to the ball toner right now. 20% off the entire site.
What's more American than Manscaped?
Right. All you have to do is go to manscaped.com, use our promo code GreatFriends, and you're saving 20% and free shipping. So for the guy in your life that needs to clean up that mess, and you know who you are, I mean, come on, guys. We expect them to be clean. They expect us to be clean. You got the whole lawnmower package. You got the nostril hair lawnmower deal. But you got all these great products, the body wash, the shampoo and conditioner, the body spray, the deodorant, all the ball deodorant stuff. Manscaped.com, and use our promo code GreatFriends. You're saving 20% and free shipping. Okay, so the star of the U.S. soccer team who just scored and put the USA up 1-0 at it was probably at about the 38-minute mark. Now we're at the 40-minute mark, and Pulisic is just getting up now.
I would argue that's their three biggest stars.
Those three guys that were all in on the goal?
McKennie plays at Juve, Dest plays at Barcelona, and Pulisic scored. Those are three biggest stars.
He is hurt, by the way.
Dude, what a
pass. Did you see that? Knee direct to the nut?
That hurts.
I'm just watching it from another angle.
This is fun.
You like watching the soccer game while we're on the radio, huh?
Yeah, especially when your team's winning.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, he's really, really hurt.
Yeah.
All right, how bad is this going to be? Stick around, everybody, because we're watching the U.S. versus Iran on podcast, which is going on broadcast. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, and the game continues. Stick around.
No, not your nuts.
Yeah. Oh, he's trying to run it off. Hey, great friends, what's going on? It's Kaplan and Crew, and we are together today watching the USA versus Iran World Cup game. Anybody who's listening on radio right now on 1090, it's 1-0 US. We're in the 42nd minute of the first half. And for those of you that are driving around going, what are you talking about, dude? This happened earlier in the day. Yes, we are podcasting.
You guys.
While watching. Yeah, we're podcasting while watching the game. And then we're taking the podcast and we're broadcasting it on 1090. You know, back in the old days, shout out to Hacksaw. He used to lie about like interviews, and he wouldn't tell people they were on tape, and he would take a lot of criticism for that. But who cares? I mean, if you turn on the Howard Stern channel on Sirius, you're listening to a broadcast from last week and you're still listening to it. It's all on tape. We are podcasting while watching the game, and we are then broadcasting later in the day because we wanted to see this game together. And if you're watching on YouTube, this is probably the worst time ever for our YouTube channel to be suspended, or maybe it's the best time ever for our YouTube clips page to get a whole bunch of new subscribers. So just keep an eye out on Twitter, on Instagram.
Back in.
Oh, Pulisic is back in. All right, describe what happened, Alex. I feel like I'm rambling.
Describe what happened on the goal?
Yeah, and then this way, and now that Pulisic has come back into the game, like what a big deal this is.
Yeah, so it looked like McKennie, he kind of got like I don't remember the build-up specifically, but it looked like he had like some sort of stolen ball. He completely crossed it to the opposite end of the field to Dest. Dest headed it directly into the box, and Pulisic scored. But as Pulisic was running full speed into the box, his momentum took him straight into the goalkeeper's knee, and that knee connected on his huevos, and he was down for what, almost 10 minutes?
I mean, I don't know.
And now he's back in.
But they pulled him off the field. And they were carrying him off the field. When I say carrying him, I mean like two trainers on either side. And then all of a sudden, they get him off the field, and he starts trying to jog it out again. And then
he took one right in the bangers and mash.
I'm going to tell you right now that this goal was probably scored around the 38-minute mark, and it's now at the 44-minute mark. And so that gives you an idea of game time. He was down. Oh, here comes the U.S. again with another opportunity. They got numbers. Is a shot. Oh, come on, get the shot off. Oh my God, too many passes. One too many passes. All right, get ready. You guys are about to see what I just saw.
I'm only 2 seconds behind.
Yeah, it's me, dude. It's not Browner. Yeah, I mean the US is really going for it, which is really good to see. Obviously, they have to win, so they're not sitting back. So Iran's getting a couple counter chances, but the US, they're pushing. And if Pulisic was full speed, he would have been involved in that. Mm-hmm. But he's clearly not full speed because he's still struggling. And Sargent had the ball on the right side of the field, and nobody made a run to the left side, and that's Pulisic's run. And he is clearly hobbled right now because if he was full speed, he's the fastest guy on this field right now, and he was not there for that pass. Yeah, I'm looking at him. He's running down the left side of the field. He's all by himself. He's running down the left side of the field. Look how far back he is. And he's calling for the ball, but he's so far back. But one pass too many. Watch this right here. He should not have passed that ball. He should have taken the shot. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. The pass was like 10 feet before that. Like once he got to that point, you just got to go because no one made that run. Nobody was there to your left. The pass was right there. As soon as he touched the ball, the pass was cutting it back, but nobody made the run. I feel like I'm back in the. I feel like I'm back in the Cholos booth again when I called soccer games.
Feels good. You sound good calling the soccer games. There's a great description of the goal. Really good description.
That groin injury right there.
Yeah. Pulisic was calling for it, man, but he gotta. I mean,
step it up.
I mean, you weren't there, man. You weren't there.
Dude, you got hit in the nuts in that sort of a collision. You know, it's gonna be hard to recover.
It'll take you a while.
But he can't come out, right? Like if he comes out of the game, what's the substitution?
You can get like what happened to him. He was off the field for 5-6 minutes. That's totally acceptable. But once you're officially subbed out, because at that time he was off the field, Pulisic was the U.S. was playing with 10 men.
Right.
So they never made a sub. So once you make a sub, you cannot come back in. So they try to they gave him the 5 minutes. They gave him the UFC 5, you know? And he came back in. So they never made a sub, which is why he's still in the game.
1-0 USA. We're into injury time in the first half. The Fox broadcast says plus 5 minutes. We're at the 46-minute and 45-second mark. Argument going on right now between Iranian coach and referee. By the way, referee looks like Landon Donovan.
If this result holds, the U.S. advances. If this result holds, the U.S. advances to the next round.
Wow.
Great stuff.
Dude, I
watched Ecuador versus Senegal this morning. That's what World Cup. I mean, obviously, when your team's in it, that's what you care about. But, man, Ecuador, Senegal, winner advances, loser goes home. What a fun game, man. I had no rooting interest. Senegal won.
What was the score?
I think it was 3-2 or 2-1. I don't remember specifically. Man, that was a fun game.
Yeah.
So fun. And these African countries, man, like their fan bases, they're just like partying the whole time in the stands. It's so fun. Yeah, I've been really impressed with Morocco, Senegal, and Ghana is always a really good team. Man, it's been fun.
Dude,
I love the World Cup.
I know this is great. And I'm telling you, man, this reminds me so much of that day. What was it, Alex? 2010 or 2012? What did you say? The Landon Donovan goal. In 2010, this is 12 freaking years ago, man. And I know we got a lot of great friends who are still with us. 2010, we're sitting in a bar outside Petco Park. Landon Donovan scores that insane goal. And we were doing an interview, Billy Ray and I, with Nick Hundley of the Padres at the time. And he's in a hotel room somewhere. And we're watching the game. And you hear the crowd roaring. And Landon scores. The bar goes absolutely ape. Well, you know what they went. And then Billy Ray yells, "Way to go, Nick!" As if Nick Hundley on the other end of the phone, sitting in a hotel room on a Padres road game, was somehow responsible for the goal as the crowd was going nuts. God, I wish
we should hit up Nick Hundley.
You know what? We should hit up Nick Hundley. It's World Cup time. This is way to go Nick time. I think he's here in San Diego. I think Nick, because I'm almost sure I heard that he has kids that go to school with a bunch of other former pro athlete guys that kids go to school.
He's Chris Young's assistant for the Texas Rangers.
Come on, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just read his wiki. Wiki.
Dude, that would be great. Let's get Nick Hundley on. I
got to find that audio. Why?
Nick Hundley might be mad at me.
What'd you do?
I saw him at a Chargers-Packers game a couple years ago in Green Bay, and it was so out of context, and I just didn't realize it was him.
And you dogged him?
What'd you do?
No, I didn't like, he said hi and I said hi, but he knew that I kind of didn't know
who he was.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, dude, remember that time we were at the Packers game together? Just play it off as like, yeah, we were like besties.
Here, I'm going to try and find him. I'm going to try and find him in my phone. Here he is. I found him. Way to go, Nick. Here we go. I'm going to text him. Nick, you watching the World Cup?
You ever just go through, Browner? I don't know, because I don't know if you ever had like book guests, but like my phone is littered with people that I would never ever text again. You ever just want to have fun with people? Like I was watching Stranger Things, Sean Astin season, and I was like, I should just text him like, "What's up, Rudy?" I want to mess around with people. Yeah.
Why don't we get him back on the show? We haven't had him on. I think the last time we had him on the show was he was doing an Ironman.
Right. That's when you guys bonded.
Yeah, I know. We did have a good bonding session.
Yeah, you did.
Let's get him back on the show.
So don't text him, "What's up, Rudy"?
No, you should text him and go, "Hey, dude, you got a few minutes for the show? We want to talk to you about some things." Let him know. Let him know we're looking for him. He's like, what? He's like, what do you want to talk to me about? I don't know. Let's find an angle.
Lord of the Rings.
How about World Cup?
Yeah, how about Notre Dame losing the USC?
Yeah, that would be good. All right, we should be getting to the end of the first half here any second now. And USA 1, Iran 0. We're at the 51-minute mark. And
U.S. in complete control.
Total control. Total control of this game. The whole game has been played in the Iranian end of the field.
Brown, you want to hear a soccer term?
Look at this. Look at this. Wait a second. There's one last run here. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh my, and they're going to call him offsides. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Watch this, Alex. You watching this yet?
The goalkeeper gives up the ball. McKinney's got the ball, running up the field, untouched. Passes to number 21. Oh, cheeky. He was offside, though.
Yeah, he was.
He was offside.
He was. But, man, could you imagine in the final seconds of the first half scoring? I mean, 2-0 is very hard to come back from. 1-0, you're like, hey, look, we can still grab this tie, no problem. But 2-0 is really hard.
Ooh,
and
was he offside?
To give up a goal at the end, but they called it offside, that's for sure.
No, they didn't call it offside. They called it offside, but they could VAR this thing.
VAR it. This half is over, pal.
Okay.
This half is over. Behind. I know you are.
I thought it was close enough to get a check,
This is fun. This is fun sitting here watching the World Cup. Now, again, you're on radio today and you're like, what's going on here? I'm not sure I'm getting it. I'll just tell it to you one more time. We're podcasting while watching the game. Then we're taking the podcast and we're putting it on radio to broadcast in the middle of the afternoon. And I understand that the game is already over by the time you might be listening to this, but that's the way we decided to do things.
We're not going to finish the game together, but
no,
this is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. All right. Hey, let me have a minute here just to give a shout out to my man, Gary Cooper, mountaintrustrualty.com. Gary Cooper is the man. Alex, bought your house a year ago, sitting on a whole bunch of equity right now. And Gary found a way to get that deal done. Tell everybody who's listening and watching.
Yeah, I was in the middle of blowing my nose, but Gary Cooper, he helped me out. He learned
that.
Told me out. That's why I took myself off camera. He taught me everything that you need to know about buying a house. And he's still my reference when I have questions about my current house, which is very, very helpful to have a guy. He's like my handyman when it comes to realty. Yeah. And I love it.
I know he's great. I know I got a text message yesterday from my niece in Florida. She's 24 years old. She's getting married in April. And she and her fiance bought a condo together, a townhouse. And I don't know how much it cost in Tampa, Florida, but I was like, I told her, I said, Ashley, I said, I'm so proud of you to be 24 years old and to have saved enough money. Because this kid, man, she works her ass off and she saves like a mofo. And I'm like, I'm so proud of you that you were able to bring to the marriage the ability to be a partner in buying a house, And so she and her fiance bought this townhouse together. And I said to her, I said, you never sell this thing. This thing right here, you hold on to forever because you're going to make a lot more money in your life and you're going to buy another house at some point. But having your first house and it being brand new construction, you just hold on to it forever. And when you're done living there, you use the equity to go buy something else. And listen, I'm just telling you right now, I know it's harder in California, a lot more expensive. But if buying a house is something you're thinking about, talk to Gary Cooper because Alex, it's like the same thing you're doing, right? I mean, this is your first place. You should never sell that place in North Park. Never.
It's the plan. I did tell Mar, though, listen, man, these houses next to us get bought up and they start building another freaking skyrise. We out of here.
Yeah.
Moving.
Well, you'll be out of there before you know it. Once you start having kids, you'll want to move.
Who's having kids?
You are.
News to me.
Browner, you think Alex and Mar have kids?
Yeah, dude, he ain't in charge of that. 100% he gonna have some kids.
You don't think you're having kids, Alex?
Mm-mm.
You don't think so, huh?
I got a kid, man. This dog is more freaking high maintenance than a kid. Guess where I'm going as soon as we're done with the show?
Where?
The dermatologist for pets. This freaking dog, her face is falling off with allergies. Is ridiculous.
There's a difference between the kid and the dog.
Oh, I know that.
At some point, she got the dog. At some point, she go get the itch for the kid.
No doubt. No
and
doubt.
You're gonna have to provide your half of the business,
dude. You are 100% having kids.
Mm-hmm.
You both come from families where how many sisters do you have, Alex?
2.
Okay, and how many sisters does Mar have?
3.
Any brothers in there?
1.
Okay, so think about that. Between the two of you, you have what, 7, 8 siblings, something like that?
Yeah.
Dude, you're having kids.
Okay, here's the deal.
Oh,
I come from a family. My father was one of 14. My mom was one of 7. Her mom was like one of 11.
Your dad was one of 14?
Yeah.
Jesus.
1920s Mexican family. Yeah, that's how it rolls.
1920s?
Just wait for my grandma was born in the 20s.
Okay, yeah, wow.
Mar's mom, I want to say 17.
17 kids?
I think so. And her dad
Same mom for all 17?
Yeah, I believe so.
Jesus, man. How did that woman do that?
The dad was like 10. Like, we come from massive, massive families, and you see the dysfunction. You see that you're just like, nah, what's better? None. And then you two over here are just like the almanac of why not to have kids.
The almanac?
Yeah. Wow. Why was what?
Yeah, what does that mean?
First of all,
almanac?
you guys are always like, don't get married, and then you guys are like, don't have kids, because then now you're like, oh, you're gonna have kids, you're gonna love having. No,
I'm not saying you're gonna love it. I'm saying
now. Correction. I want to be very clear on something here. Did I tell you to get married? I said no. But again, you chose the right person, so you're in good territory. You're off to a good start. I never said don't have children. I never said that. I've never said that about anything. Kids are awesome. They're challenging, but they're awesome.
Yeah, I don't think as a person that doesn't have kids, they don't seem so awesome at all. They seem like a pain in the ass. Honestly,
they are. But they're also awesome.
Right.
But it takes a while for it to be awesome.
No, see, that's the difference. No, it doesn't. They're awesome. They're way more awesome in the beginning.
Yes.
It's when they start talking back.
Yeah.
That's when it stops being awesome.
Or when they start driving, you know?
Right.
Like last night, I was literally.
Oh, how far did you go last night?
No, last night, I was around the corner helping Rachel do some things. You know, she's got a rental property. So I was helping her remove some of her personal items because she's got tenants coming in. I get a call from my 16-year-old daughter. She's screaming at me and crying at me. And you know what this is about? She can't lock the front door. Somehow the front door, like, it's gotten a little colder out, and to lock it's gotten like, I feel like it's expanded, the metal,
Yeah, the wood has expanded, so it's thrown off the man. It's thrown off the
whole deal. Yeah. She's screaming at me. I can't lock the door. The door won't close. I want to go get some food. And she is bawling me out. And that's when having kids is not awesome, Alex.
Yeah.
You just say, hey, leave the door open. What are you doing?
No, I said to her, I said, just stay home. Don't leave. If you can't problem solve to lock the door, which I realize is a little bit harder than normal, then you shouldn't be getting behind the wheel of a car.
Good point. Good point.
See, that's parenting.
Let me guess. She figured out how to lock that door.
She did not figure it out.
Oh, no.
She never figured it out.
She leave?
She did not leave. She retreated to her room into a pile of squishmallows. Do you know what those are?
No.
They're like this little pillow thing that you buy that's squishy.
Squishmallows? Yeah. Okay.
You'll find out.
Unfortunately, I probably will.
You will. You'll find out. All right, listen, we're at halftime. For those of you that are watching on YouTube.
This is the perfect show for me today.
Yeah, it's great because, you didn't feel well.
I'm crippled over right now.
Yeah. What's wrong with you, man? I see you like at commercial breaks eating like plain crackers. What's wrong?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I took 2 COVID tests.
I think we're off.
Unlike some people on this show, I'm not afraid to find out.
God, I think we're off tomorrow, man.
Tomorrow?
I think,
oh yeah.
I think me and this dude, we just need to
a recovery day,
recovery or something, man. Because
when this show's over, I'm going to sleep.
The more you make me talk about anything, I'm like, it just is building here. Where is it coming from?
I don't know, but I do know this. Tomorrow, I got to be amongst legal proceedings.
Yeah, let's not even talk about it. I don't want to get in trouble. Before.
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. I'm just saying that's why tomorrow, just so everybody knows. I had to take off. I had to take off both shows tomorrow. I had to take off this show and the 710 show in LA tomorrow, all to deal with all this.
It's a good day for just the show to just like, hey, let the
Alex.
clips page, we'll get our other page back on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Browner can, recover. Because I don't know if I could talk as much as you've talked today, Scott.
I know.
And when you here tomorrow, without you here tomorrow, I have to talk that much.
Yeah.
Alex, you need to have a conversation with Jason Lawhead about what happened to him in Las Vegas.
Oh, no.
No.
This did not go on the radio yesterday, did it?
Huh?
Did this story go on the radio yesterday?
Why, are we going to get taken down?
It's not about taking down.
Nah, I'm not. Nah,
You don't want it public.
Nah. Well, no. You know what? It did not go on the air specifically because of the people involved.
Uh-huh.
But you need to talk to Jason,
Alex,
you're gonna laugh.
Everything was going great for Jason Lawhead last week. He was performing. He was performing at I'm trying to remember the name of the comedy club, like the Laugh Factory. And he was doing
in the Tropicana.
He was doing 2 shows a night from Sunday to Sunday. So he's doing 14 shows over the course of 7 days. Dude's getting paid. JJ Walker, Dynamite, he's the MC of the show. His buddy Jimmy Schubert is the headliner, and Jason is doing like 30 minutes twice a night, So Jason's getting good money. On Saturday night of last week, one of our great friends, who's a big Lawhead fan, drove to Vegas, bought tickets to both shows in the front row. And when he got there, he'd been drinking. And did some things.
There's so much more to this story. This is not doing it justice. There's so much more.
Can you tell me which great friend, and I'll call Jason?
Wait, say that again?
Which great friend?
I'm not going to say which great friend.
No,
I'm not going to say which great friend. And apparently there was a flare-up and a disruption during the show.
With Jason.
And backstage.
Yeah, and in the green room.
And this great friend?
And the great friend went to the green room like, hey, I'm here because I'm Lawhead's guy.
Yeah.
And
you know who it is.
Right,
I know who it is.
Okay, stop. All right, we're in the 7 Mile Casino studios.
No!
7milecasino.com. Stick around. The second half's about to start. This is Kaplan and Crew. Hey, great friends. It is Tuesday afternoon. It's Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. We're coming to you from the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com. We have been watching the U.S. versus Iran. We watched the first half. USA leads 1-0. For those of you listening on radio on the Mightier 1090, just trying to figure out what's going on. Podcast earlier in the day so we could watch the game together. Broadcasting it on radio this afternoon. I realize that bars and restaurants are filled with people that are all excited to be watching this game together, and you may be headed home right now. Well, you're at least going to relive at least parts of this game as the second half is about to start. So, Grande, Brown Man, into our final segment of the show, and kind of figuring that we'll get into some of this game, but some other stories that we haven't gotten to yet today. Love to get to a couple of them.
I look buff right now.
Did you say you look buff?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that?
My arms look big.
You feel like your arms look muscular right now?
Mm-hmm.
You on that Liver King diet?
Well, he got busted during steroids. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Wait. Time out. When did Liver King, and does everybody know who Liver King is?
I think at this point, if you are on the internet, you know who Liver King is.
Right.
Dude, Liver King, for anybody that doesn't know, is this guy. I think he lives down in Texas. He's constantly all over Instagram, only in a pair of shorts and a pair of shoes and a hat on backwards, big old grizzly beard, and I mean ripped like a freaking, like one of those old school wrestling dolls that you would see in like a Toys R Us, like every last ab and chest. And he's always working out and he's always eating like raw
huge pieces of meat.
Yeah. Raw animal. Like here's the kidney. And he loves the testicles. This guy will eat the testicles of any animal, because he doesn't believe that any part of the animal should go to waste. And here's Liver Queen and here's Liver Boys. He's 2 kids. And I don't know what this guy ever did for a living, but he's got this mansion somewhere in Texas. He's got every toy ever imagined. Next thing you know, he's like walking around in New York City in just his shorts and his hat on backwards. And he's always like kind of bragging about the food that he eats. whatever. And so this is how he gets so ripped. And, people should go back to the primal ways of life. Oh, here, Alex is now showing us a picture. What is that big old slab of beef?
I don't know, man, but yeah.
Oh, there's a big old liver because he's the liver king. Yeah. What else are you going to show us?
That's all I got.
Anyway, so what happened to Liver King? What happened?
So leaked emails show that Liver King was taking almost $12,000 worth of pharmaceutical HGH per month, 3 injections per day, all while promoting his brand of holistic lifestyle, ancestral tenets, and eating raw meat on camera. So the fraud king, the Liver King, was taking steroids the whole time.
The whole time.
And
like anybody who looked at him and didn't realize that, come on.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like some Gen Z or on TikTok that believed everything he said, then you probably believed it. But this is like his leaked email. These are all the things he's been taking for a year, for 2 months, 6 weeks, blah, 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 blah. So dude was taking over.
Who's he sending this to? Like, I'm just curious. Like, why would he have put this in writing?
I guess it was like trying to build his brand. He had like a goal of like reaching like 1 million followers by March of 2020. This is before he blew up this year, because he blew up this year. So he was trying to get his name out there. He was sending his stuff out there. He was sending it to he's like, I got a film crew coming to my house to live with us for a year. I'm not going to take any days off this year, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, Liver King exposed.
Really? So is he canceled?
I mean, that sounds like a self-cancel.
Canceled from what? Like, he could still post whatever he wants.
Right.
But are people going to still follow him now that they know he's all juiced up and he's not living the primal lifestyle that he's been?
What's the apology video going to be like? Is he going to cry? Is he going to cut his beard?
Primals? He's going to be like, Primals? Liver King here. Liver King here. Yes, it's true. Liver King takes steroids. Okay. Yeah. But back in the primal days, if steroids were available, all the primals would have taken steroids too. So take steroids. Liver King out.
Why do we need to live primal ancestral lifestyles when you could just cheat?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, here comes the U.S. U.S. in the second half, looking across, and it's going to be a corner kick for the U.S.
Hold on, my TV went out. What's going on here?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, if your TV goes out, you got problems.
Oh, boy.
You got big trouble, my friend.
You got big trouble. Maybe I gotta go. I think I gotta go to Peacock.
Oh, no, really?
No, I'm back. I'm good.
Okay, all right. 48 minutes here into the match, and the U.S. about to get a chance for a corner kick. And so we're watching the game. It's early in the second half. USA with a 1-0 lead over Iran. I can still hear as a kid in my head the Iron Sheik. Iran, number 1. Pui USA. I say Pui. Iran, number 1.
This guy's mad fast. He took that ball all the way down.
Yeah, this is a long drive by Iran. Oh, dude,
it's physical out there.
Iran just had a player go from behind the American defender and like club him over the head with a forearm. They took down the Iranian player who was running and was going into triple team, and then the Iranian player it wasn't as bad. He hits him in the back.
If you ran as far and fast as number 9 just did for Iran, how long would it take you to get your breath back?
Oh, dude, years. Literally years. I haven't sprinted in years.
My God, man, that's insane.
And even my sprinting is slow, but still, it's mine. It would take forever.
100 yards. It's full sprint.
Yeah. And then they just lose the ball.
And they got tackled.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dude, I started running again, and I'm sore. I ran it's a humble brag, but
oh boy,
I ran 5 miles on Saturday, and I ran 6 miles on Sunday, and I was hurting. And when I say running, I mean it's super slow. I'm the captain of Team Slow. In fact,
when you say running, is it nonstop?
Yeah. I mean, it's there may be you have to stop for a street light or cross the street, or maybe it's like, hey, let's take 30 seconds and walk here, just catch our breath for a little bit. But generally, it's consecutive.
Yeah.
6 miles.
That's great. Congrats, man. What's the goal?
Man. I think the goal might be, I'm not ready to commit to it yet, but I think maybe the Carlsbad half marathon in late January.
Ooh, late January.
Yeah, I'm starting to think about a goal. Because I got to get myself into shape.
How long does that take to run?
13 miles. Probably take me close to 3 hours. 2.5 hours. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at the time.
What could you do better?
Bruh.
Yeah, bro.
What are we doing here?
Come
you know
on,
I ain't
bro.
running no marathon, fam.
Come on, fam. Half
That ain't-
marathon, fam.
That ain't for me, bruh. I ain't not finna be out here running just to be running.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
only running if somebody chasing me.
add it to the decathlon. Who wins a half marathon? Me or you?
I ain't doing that.
All right. That's
The thing about marathons that always cracks me up is that you have to pay like, don't you just pay like $150, $200 to even do it?
To run.
Yeah. Hey, we're
Unless
watching.
it goes to a good cause.
Oh,
Yeah.
ooh,
I know. Iran had a real chance.
Ooh.
Iran had a real chance.
That
Ball
could've
got
been
kicked out. Yeah, goal kick for the U.S. I thought it was going to be a corner. So, hey, listen, we're watching the second half. It's pretty early, 51
nice
minutes into the
move.
second half. Oh, good footwork.
That was nice.
That was really nice. That's nice ball handling right there, Browner, is what that is.
And they suck at the end.
All right. Listen, we're watching the USA versus Iran soccer game. But, Alex, let's get to something else. And what I'll do is this. Let's get to the Tory Holistics highlight of the day, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll use a local collegiate basketball highlight. And that'll give us a chance to kind of chat that out for a little bit.
Okay.
As we're watching this game. All right, let's do it.
It's time for the highlight of the day, man.
You want to get high, man?
I'm just really high.
2 more days for the promo code Got Your Back, and 2 more days for the peanut butter drive at Tory Holistics. So what you got to do, spend minimum $75. Put the promo code Got Your Back in. You get 20% off your purchase at Tory Holistics. And today and tomorrow, final days of the peanut butter drive. For every 16-ounce plastic jar of peanut butter you donate, you get a 1-cent pre-roll from Tory Holistics.
I'm just trying to do the math, like if you get the 16-ounce jar of peanut butter, plastic jar, and then you donate it, and then you get the 1 penny pre-roll, like how much would the pre-roll be versus how much is the peanut butter? And you're making a really, this is a great donation because there's a lot of kids and a lot of families in San Diego that will not have food, proper amounts of food at the holiday season. I mean, it's an all year problem, but if you bring in this peanut butter goes to the Got Your Back organization, and then they hand deliver it to the families that need it. So it's an awesome thing. And then Tory just gives you that 1 cent pre-roll. So
a 16-ounce Skippy peanut butter jar at Target costs $2.49.
Okay, so it's a big win for you. It's a really big win. The 1 penny pre-roll would cost more, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. And they're good-looking pre-rolls too. Good-looking pre-rolls.
Nice.
Yesterday.
Here comes the U.S. Wait a second. Here comes the U.S. with an opportunity. Oh, man. He just dribbled right into defenders. He had all this space out wide and dribbled right into defenders. All right. You were saying, Alex, excuse me.
No, I'm watching the play.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
right. You're 30 seconds behind.
Yeah. Okay. Yesterday, USD taking on Longwood. What? Longwood.
Who's Longwood? Yeah. Who's Longwood?
Lancers.
Now, wait a second.
Where are they from?
Longwood.
Oh.
I just want to say this in advance. USD. Really, I really loved Steve Lavin a few weeks ago. I think there's his name will bring a little bit of excitement, and it won't be overnight. It's not going to Lincoln Riley, but I will just say this. He wants to go out to dinner and hang out with us a little bit. Did you guys know this?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, like after the interview, him and his assistant coaches were like, guys, why don't we all get together and hang out a little bit? Because, I mean, it was pretty clear that we're all basketball experts around here.
Yeah, man. Listen, we the way.
Coach said, let's get together.
Shout out, Coach. I'm down.
Longwood Lancers men's basketball team is a Division I basketball team that represents Longwood University in Farmville, Virginia. The team has competed in the Big South Conference of the NCAA. Big South Conference.
Okay.
I was going to read National Collegiate, but I realized that was
great.
NCAA.
Yeah.
USD has lost 3 games in a row. Oh, not until yesterday. What am I talking about?
Napper across the line. Out for Wade to try and tie the game. It's good. We're tied at 68. 5.5 to go. Here comes Townsend. Down the court. Looking for the win. Townsend, a step back 3 on the way. Count it! San Diego with a walk-off win!
That was really great. I don't know.
Great shot.
Who's the announcer?
Cronin.
I thought it was Jack Cronin, but I couldn't really tell. It almost didn't sound like him at the end. But anyway, the fans, I don't know how many people were in the Slim Jim. I'm not saying that there was 6,000. It was jam-packed, but the fans kind of jump up and down. You can see that there's great energy in the building. And Cronin's call That was
Great.
outstanding.
Now it sets up a good string of games for San Diego, the city championship, San Diego versus UCSD on Thursday, December 1st.
Nice.
UNLV, Saturday, December 3rd in San Diego, I believe. And then they take on Arizona State, December 18th in Arizona.
All right. Looks like Coach Lavin's using those
good
Pac-12
games.
connections.
Those are good games, man.
Yeah. I saw, and I don't recall the kid's name, but I saw that USD signed a kid from Los Angeles, high school kid, who had a pretty solid reputation, came from a really big school. I wish I had more detail on it, but this was the same day that USC signed that kid from Atlanta, like the number one recruit. I almost think that the girl who was the number one recruit who signed with USC, I think the boy who signed with USD went to her same school. I could have my details a little bit off, but it sounds like my point is that Steve Lavin is already making some recruiting impact, you know? So
I like the sound of that. That's all you need, man.
Way to go, Coach. Alex, give us an update on the San Diego State basketball team, because they were down in Maui and things kind of started out good,
dude.
but then I've stopped seeing things after the Arizona game. Like I kind of got distracted with other stuff.
Well, they only played once more in the third place game, and they took on Arkansas, who was ranked 9th in the country. They had a very stable lead, and Lamont Butler just had some brain farts, and they lost that game in overtime. Arkansas hit a buzzer beater to go to overtime. So brutal. San Diego State has now dropped to number 24. So they dropped 7 spots in total. And I think the biggest real letdown is that was your opportunity to beat 2 ranked teams come Selection Sunday. I don't know how many more they got on their schedule. I got to take a look, but those are 2 wins, especially that Arkansas win. That is such a top tier win that would have been helpful going forward.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And they got outclassed by Arizona. Like, I mean, they got legit.
Yeah. I mean, they gave up like 90 points to Arizona.
Yeah. But losing to Arizona is fine. I mean, no shame in that per se. Although, San Diego State likes to say, hey, we're the best basketball program on the West Coast, including Arizona, UCLA, et cetera. And Arizona has kind of gotten back to being, really one of the tops. But no shame in losing to Arizona. But when you've got Arkansas down and beat and you wind up losing the game the way they did, that was a rough one.
So coming up is tonight against UC Irvine at Viejas, Friday night against Occidental, Monday against Troy, Saturday against St. Mary's, Monday against Kennesaw State, Tuesday the 20th against UCSD, and then Mountain West play begins Wednesday the 28th. So that was our opportunity to get like a real big top tier ranked wins out the window.
I'll tell you this: we're in the second half here, watching the U.S. versus Iran game. And we're at the 59-minute marker, at least that's where I'm at. Browner and Alex are a little bit behind me. But I'll tell you guys, as much as the U.S. seemed to dominate the first half, I must say Iran is putting a lot of offensive pressure on the U.S. And again, at the 59-minute mark. And it's a 1-0 game in favor of the U.S., who, if they win, they move on. But we've been spending a lot of time this afternoon talking about the pressure that's on the Iranian players and the threats that have been made in their home country, and the uprising that's going on, or at least so it seems, and as it's being reported, like how political this game is. And they're playing Iran like a team that is trying to tie this score and get a result.
If they lose, they go home. If they win, they advance. So they're playing for the same exact reasons the US are, man. Like, as far as they're not eliminated. So Iran wins, they're in. I think if Iran ties, they're in.
I read this story earlier today in the LA Times. I mentioned it, but one of the things that like the Iranian folks who were interviewed were saying about this game is the Iranian team, before they went to Qatar, they met with whoever the leader is, the ruler of Iran, and photo shoot and the whole thing. And there are so many protesters against this government that people are angry with the players themselves for having gone and done that. And it's like, but what did you think they were going to do? Like, you live here.
Who do you think pay for them flights?
Right. We're wearing the jersey from the country.
Right.
We may not agree with the government, but what if we don't go kiss their ass? They're not going to send us.
Right.
Yeah,
get over that, man.
But this one person was saying that, like, the joy of the game, like, I want to root for my home country, but I hate the fact that the players, just kiss the ass of the government. And so I root for Iran on the front of my jersey, but I'm so angry with these players for doing that. that it's taken the joy out of the game. And it's like, oh man, wow.
Yeah, heavy. Well, the bad news is for the U.S. is that if Iran ties, so if they get the equalizer, they advance if that's how it finishes. Because Wales right now, they're losing 2-0. They're pretty much out. So the U.S. has to win. Iran, if they just tie, they advance because England's advancing.
Telling you right now, Iran is putting a lot of pressure on the U.S. defense. And it just feels like in the first half, the U.S. had the ball completely down in the Iran, side of the field. And now
they're playing desperate. They're playing way more desperate.
Yeah, it's kind of, I almost feel like, how I would hate for the U.S. to play to protect a 1-0 lead. I prefer them to play for the win.
Yeah, I think they have to because anyone could get one on a counter. That's a very possibility. And if Iran does tie, they just put 9 guys, 10 guys in the box, and good luck scoring on that. Because they don't need a win.
Yeah.
So if they tie this up, man, they're threatening. They are threatening.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, we're going to be going off the radio side of things here at the top of the hour. And I can't tell you for sure that we'll be back on the air tomorrow in this sense that I mentioned I have something I got to go deal with tomorrow that I cannot get out of. Browner feels like garbage. Alex has a snot problem happening. So it is conceivable that these two guys may need the day off tomorrow to recover, and then we'll come back strong.
Is Jason anti-show right now?
Jason Lawhead could be mad at us.
No. He good.
Is he blaming me for something that I had nothing to do with? Because I feel like he might be.
Nah, he don't blame nobody. He blamed the person who did the actions.
I would blame Scott a little bit if I was Jason.
I just told him that I had a situation with that person too, and I just had to talk to them and let them know kind of what it was and how they should be moving in certain situations. And they were cool after that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but that had already gone overboard.
You blame me, Alex? You're giving me some portion of this blame?
In the blame pie game, the person you guys are talking about gets 99% of the blame. But I think your enabling of him would probably, I'll give you 1%.
Stop. Don't say that. That's not right. That's completely inaccurate.
Enabling.
So wrong.
Browner gets it.
Yeah.
So wrong.
Browner gets it.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, as we're going to sign off.
You're such a good friend, dude. Honestly.
Thank you.
That's no hyperbole. That is a fact.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. It's because I hate Kingdom earlier today, Browner. I'm kissing the ass now.
He did. He hate King me. He wants those Pac-12 tickets. Next thing you know, I'm going to get him the Pac-12 tickets, and then he's going to hate King me for Raiders Chargers tickets on Sunday.
No. I'm coming back Saturday.
I might have some requests coming up here soon too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
When do I get to ask for some things?
But it's San Diego State though. It's San Diego State. You could wiggle that.
We'll see. I don't know about that. Hey, last thing before we get out of here, just a quick reminder to everybody. Browner and Grande, you may see them running around town on their Ride One Up e-bikes. Go to rideoneup.co/greatfriends right now during their Black Friday sale. $400 savings on their e-bikes, plus an extra $50 in savings when you use the promo code Great Friends. Oh my God, that was really close. The U.S. just almost gave up a goal. That was a clear shot.
How does this end for the radio people? Prediction. How does this end?
1-1.
My God. rideoneup.co/greatfriends. You're thinking about an e-bike for you, for your kid. You're going to get 2 for you and your wife. rideoneup.co/greatfriends. Oh my God. Radio listeners,
am I that
you
far
got to come join us. You got to come join us. We're getting out of here.
In trouble.
All right. We're finishing up on the YouTube side. We're finishing up on the podcast side. Peace out, 1090 listeners. All right. We're going to wrap things up and go watch the rest of this game ourselves. Now, look, for those of you that are still with us on YouTube, first of all, we appreciate you guys finding us on the clips page. That is first and foremost. Secondly, you guys obviously know that we're recording this much earlier in the day, and you guys are getting it, kind of midday. So appreciate you guys sticking with us through all of this. Shout out, by the way, to Neil. Neil is such a great listener, guys. Not only does he listen and watch our show, but he also catches up to me up in 710. And the other day we had, this was yesterday, we had Dave McMiniman on from ESPN who covers the Lakers. Do you guys know who that is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
McTen.
So say again?
McTen.
Oh, right. McTen. So McMiniman, he says goodbye on the show. He's like, all right, guys, see you later. And I'm like, I'm with you, Dave. And Neil hears that and knows that is a old school Great Friends reference. I'm with you, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And I drop a lot of Great Friends references on the 710 show to see who's picking them up.
Should we throw a hissy fit about that?
I know, right? That's ours.
That's ours. Yeah.
You can't do that. And then
Yeah.
they'll throw a hissy fit like, you're using phrases on our show that you use on the Cappy Cast. I know, they'll get all upset.
Yeah.
They call it the Cappy Cast?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
They think we're clowns,
Yeah.
Browner.
Yeah, they do, which is what pisses me off, which is why, like, when they disrespect it, they don't get it. It's no joke to me. I'm like, you guys don't understand the way we work. You don't understand what it is to have to go out and sell your own shit, you know? And how hard it is. It's a tough environment out there right now. So, which is why, ta-da, buy the t-shirts. Go to kaplanandcrew.com, search our shop, our merch shop, Hey King and Slay Queen and Charger Hater Clubs and all the fun stuff that we've had throughout the year, plus all the great friends gear. That's the stuff you need. Especially, by the way, if you're coming out on the boat trip with us and you know who you are, you should be rocking some of our gear. So, US with a chance. No.
Oh, they got a handball.
As Jason Lawhead would say, denied. All right. Peace out, everybody. Much love.